act casual. Act casual.
Act casual. Act casual. Said fly casual.
I said fly casual. It's because hands is talking.
Hello, we have returned.
Hey,
What?
everybody.
We're back.
Wow, we're back.
We're
Oh.
back, baby.
Oh, hey. Hey, everyone out there in internet land. How's it going?
We have
Hi.
returned after a brief hiatus due to some bodies being down. We are back, and we are ready to roll. Hello, Wastelanders, and welcome back to War Games News Radio for episode 3. A stunning finale episode, if you will, of Home on the Rage, a Fistful of Neutrons story. This is the finale episode of our little mini-series here, playing the Fallout 2D20 system by Modifius Entertainment. My name is Ryan, and I will be your overseer for what I hope will be an epic conclusion to this small little tale that we've weaved for you folks. And these are our players. Hello, everyone. How are we doing this evening?
Hey.
Hello, players.
Doing all right. Doing
Fantastic.
okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm ready to be back in the Wasteland. And for those of you just joining us, this adventure is a quick little break from our Few Neutrons More campaign that Justin is running here on the channel. And we will be back with the more misadventures of Johnny, Grant, and Mr. Microwave in our next episode, which is actually going to be next week. We're going to get back on our regular schedule here after missing last week's show. So it's going to be a 2-week back-to-back extravaganza for you folks to get back into the swing. So that's a little treat. You might have missed last week, but hey, we get some back-to-back shows Sunday to Sunday. And we'll have more on that as we wrap up whatever happens here tonight. But for now, we've got some bigger, more mutated fish to fry as the town of Longmount, Colorado faces a desperate battle for survival as the countryside is being terrorized by some hungry super mutants, which are way worse than hungry hippos. And a big thank you to all of you folks out there tonight for coming in and tuning in again. All of you wonderful Wastelanders once again. Who have we got in the chat today? We got Zach Posey, Devin Shipwreck, Fumbles, Craig Steinhoff, Chip Parker, oh my goodness, Corbin Bear, Mads Destruction, just the gang's all here. This is so great. Thank you all so much for tuning in week after week. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without any of you folks, so thank you all so much. And we're going to get right back into the action. Welcome to all you new viewers tonight. Before we do, let's go back around the horn one more time and reintroduce ourselves to ourselves, and we will start with directly to my stage right, left, right, with Raj playing the character of Bert and Ernie. Raj, tell us about yourself here, Bert, and how Bert's doing today.
Sure. Hey, my name's Raj, and I'm playing Repairman Bert and Ernie. He's real laid back. He's casual. Casual is the number one word anyone would ever use to describe this man. But he knows his stuff. He's handy, and he's ready to help and murk some mutants from the sounds of things.
That's the trifecta, really, right there. That's what you want to see. I don't know what else you could ask for. Moving on down the line, we've got Justin reprising his role in this mini-series from Season 1 as Yuri. Justin, how are you and Yuri today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Since we were mentioning the gangs all here, I wanted to give a special shout out to Fumbles, and thank you so much for repping our merch and gear. I saw that photo of you with Asterion and who else was it? Anyway.
Oh, right, there was the photo. Yes, we saw a photo of someone wearing the WGNR shirt. Yes.
At PAX East. I thought that was incredibly cool, so thank you for repping us at PAX East. I love that. And yeah, I am playing Yuri Antropov, everyone's favorite ghoul, priest, and caravaner of the Wastelands. I'm very happy to be back playing him. I missed Yuri quite a bit, and I love stepping back into his role. So it's great. I'm excited to see where this goes today.
Me too. I'm very curious, and I think whatever happens, a big part of that might come down to the big, heavy green shoulders of Dormant Gunz. Grant, how are you, Gunz, today?
Yeah, pretty good, but remind me not to go run in front of machine gun turrets again, please.
Sure.
Twice.
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 Yeah.
2 times.
Normally, that's a mistake you probably only make once, but just in case, now we know. Now we know. Second time is not the charm when it comes to machine gun turrets.
Although after
once.
2 times, we did get the thing we were after. So I mean,
Maybe second time is.
how do you measure success? By what metric?
I
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not gonna fool me again.
Yeah, that's where I was
Exactly.
going with that. Yeah, 100%. Yes, Dorman Gunz is the George W. Bush of the Wasteland here, and
You heard it here first, folks.
mission accomplished. But one way or another, we are going to accomplish this mission here today. But before we get into that, a quick reminder that we are playing in the Fallout universe, which is a post-apocalyptic wasteland, meaning that you will probably run into mature subject matter, scenes of violence, and fucking swear words. So, just so you know, these are the things you might encounter on this show, but they are all done in good taste and good time for the most part. We don't go to any super weird places, so we think you're going to have a good time. And right before we jump into the action, we've got a giveaway today for this book, which I'm using right here to help drive this show here today. The Winter of Adam, quest book by Modifius Entertainment for the game we're playing here today, Fallout the role-playing game. If you would like to get your hands in on this, please, ! Prize pack in the chat. We've already got a couple names from the previous couple streams in there, so get your names in there, and we're going to be doing this draw at halftime for this book. It's the one we used myself. It's got some notes in it there too, so there you go. In case you need any quick tabs, I've already done the quick hotkeys for you there once you get your hands on it for all the important stuff. So with that, let's go back to the Wasteland. As the curtain falls, and our scene opens on the cracked asphalt of a ruined highway. The winding road stretches off into the wasteland, with only the odd tumbleweed blowing across the highway to break up the scenery. The heat wafts up the tarmac, and we see a small speck on the horizon coming closer into view, but before long, we hear the sounds of a jingling cowbell and make out the outline of a small caravan as it trudges past a worn road sign that reads Exit 35, Longmount. We get our first proper glimpse of the caravan and see our 3 companions here, Yuri, Bert, and Dorman Gunz, as you plod your way along the road. But you're not alone, obviously. You've got St. Louis, Enola May, and your new companion, Margot, in tow. It has been a pretty crazy couple of days, on top of a pretty interesting couple of months, as the entire region has been plagued by a roving band of super mutants. Margot arrived in Longmount after her husband was murdered by the greenskins, and, well, she came with news that the mutants will be at the town gates in 6 days' time. Seeing the chance to turn the tide, you all hatched a plan to bolster the town's defenses and make a stand against the mutants, and headed out to the old abandoned Fort Lupton military base to search for supplies. That was 2 days ago. Now, give or take, in finding the base mostly picked clean by an earlier mutant raiding party, you did manage to hit the jackpot in the armory. After a too close for comfort encounter with some automated turrets, you managed to scrape together around a dozen or so assault rifles, enough ammo to make said, assault rifles more than just really fancy looking clubs, a few grenades, and a few machine gun turrets as well for your troubles. 3, count them, 3 fully operational automatic machine gun turrets, and 1 more busted up, currently not working, in need of some potentially Repairman Bert love turret that,
It's right there in the name.
we've got a doorman, we've got a
Repairman.
and we've got a ghoul man. Goulash? No, not quite. But you spent the night at the base and loaded your stockpile onto the makeshift little trailer truck that you've all got Enola hooked up to here. And the gang is headed home on the road to Longmount. Now, before we jump right into the action, how is the morning going for you all as you make your way across the wastes, and how did you all spend the evening? Now remember that we are keeping track of fatigue, at least to a degree, in this one shot, so the less sleep you get, the more tattered you might be by the time the mutants show up, and that will start to affect your generation of action points. So, how are we all doing right now, and how did we all sleep, if we did at all?
Yeah.
I'll start with Yuri. Yes. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I think Yuri, as true to the narrative that I've created for him in this, is very fretful. I don't think he got more than maybe a couple hours of sleep. Okay. Checking on Enola, taking stock, continuing to retake stock, checking against his ledger and whatnot. And kind of just piddling about, trying to keep himself busy, organizing, then reorganizing, and chatting with Enola. So I think he bunked down probably around 3 or 4 in the morning, and then was up at 7 a.m. I think, or at dawn, whenever we got moving. Kind of
like, a little sort of nervous sort of energy going on here,
Yeah, he's eager to get back to Longmount. He doesn't like being away from his flock for so long, so.
Okay, all right. Well then I will say that you indeed are still fatigued, sir. Your fatigue level, you got some sleep, but not a full night's sleep, so your fatigue is still at 1. So when you generate action points, you generate 1 less.
Yeah, and also I think
I like that.
You've seen a behavior that you haven't seen in Yuri often. He's like smoking a lot.
Oh, he's like smoking.
Oh, yeah, he's like he's got like a bunch of pre-war cigarettes, and previously you haven't really seen Yuri smoke.
Yeah, there's only been a couple times so far. But it's now not an uncommon sight to see him hacking.
Yeah, having a dart hanging out of his mouth as he kind of mutters to himself and whatnot. It's kind of a strange scene to see a ghoul priest hacking a dart, but
sure, yeah. For all of our American friends, hacking a dart is a Canadian slang for smoking a cigarette.
Does Yuri roll his own?
Actually, you know what? I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's very European to do that. So yeah, I think Yuri, he doesn't have the pre-made. He found maybe a pouch of tobacco and is rolling his own sort of a ghoul lag special.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh. Get out.
Get
out.
Good night, everybody. Tip your servers.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to wrap up here because it's not going to get any better than that. Okay, I like that indeed. Okay, a little bit of a different, the times are wearing on Yuri. Bert, how about yourself? How was the night at the base? When we left the scene, everyone was in fairly good spirits, having found the weaponry. How did the rest of the night go for Repairman Bert and Ernie?
So I think, if memory serves, the night previous, Bert only got about a half night's worth of sleep. So this night, he's getting a full end-to-end complete night of sleep. Him and Gunz went and set up the barracks, as I understand it.
Correct.
And he's as soon as it was good, he goes to Gunz we good? And then kicks it. That's it.
Just balls deep with a thumb in your mouth.
Right there.
Yeah.
Snoring immediately.
Yeah, okay.
Not a moment of hesitation.
I mean, it's been a wild ride. Bert, not normally, your rough and tumble kind of guy. You yesterday were running right in the line of fire, in between 3 different machine gun and laser turrets. So yeah, fair enough. I think you've earned a little siesta this evening. So right. So Bert's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning on the ride home.
Totally. He's like Giddy to fix the broken machine gun turret. He keeps eyeing it up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna fix you so good,
Ooh, just wait till I get my hands on you, baby.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna fix you so
It's
good.
getting a little weird, right? Yeah, okay. I'm into it. I can see what Bert's okay. No kink shame. That's all good. Whatever Bert's into.
Don't yuck anybody else's yums.
Dude, Repairman's gonna repair.
Man.
Yeah.
Speaking of men, Gunz is a doorman of sorts. Yourself, how was the eve, and how do you find yourself on the current trek back to Longmont?
So Dorman Gunz is on the mend. but
Yes.
he did get shot 1.5 billion times by
Correct.
machine gun turrets. So
You got shot
he's-
like so
so
much.
many
so
times.
many times.
Yeah.
So he's trying to chill a little. He's doing his favorite travel pastime, which is to shuffle up to the nearest cactus, and then he does some
Do they have cacti
sensei.
in Colorado?
Sure.
Now they do.
Why not?
I'll allow it.
Or bushes, and I'm taking Excalibur and I'm Steven Seagaling that shit around, and I'm smacking cactuses.
Okay.
And then if it's a tasty cactus that I already know about, I'll like scoop out some of the juicy fruit inside, and but I'm Steven Seagaling my Excalibur around and smoking cactuses is what I'm doing.
Okay, we're having a good time. Like, yeah, it's just like we're blowing off steam, like practicing some karate moves.
Totally, legit karate moves. Because Dorman Gunz, in between moments, he tries to just like zen out and bring out his like inner 10-year-old.
There you go. I love this. He's getting in the mood, like ready to go. Oh, and I see in the chat here, Zach Posey says, indeed, there are cacti in Colorado. So
Heck yes.
once
that's what I was
again,
saying.
lore accurate programming.
That's what we strive for
Scientifically
here.
accurate. That's what we bring to the table, guys.
Yeah, we've got super mutants and a 200-year-old Russian spy. Everything is scientifically accurate. We move on from our morning travels as the gang goes down the road. Yuri chain smoking his homemades. Bert and Ernie figuring out how he's going to tackle this repair job, and Dorman Gunz doing his best karate through the wasteland. And we snap. Oh,
Overseer, may I spend some action points?
I would love it if you did. On what?
How many do we have?
Currently in your pool, to start this session, I've given you 1 per player's worth, so 3.
And how much would I have to spend to gain a resource?
Well, I like this. I don't know what the resource is, but we've been saying basically
A book.
one.
It's a book. It's a book that I found in the on the military base.
I will say one action point for anyone who's following along. We're playing with sort of a loose exchange of action points out of the Children of Winter of Adam, core book, where there's some mechanics where the players can get a little more hand on the ball in the narrative storytelling, and we're using some of that expanded here in the game to let the guys exchange to me action points for doing shit that just magically MacGuffins that appear in the wasteland to help them. So yes, I love this. 1 action point down. What MacGuffin-y book can I interest you in, sir?
Actually, I think Yuri found a undamaged pre-war Ranger U.S. military Ranger handbook.
Okay.
That he is poring over as he smokes and walks with Enola May.
Love it.
Yeah. He's trying to memorize as much as that as possible as he walks. And you kind of just see him muttering to himself as he's reading, reading this Ranger handbook.
I love this U.S. Army Ranger handbook. Fan-freaking-tastic. As Yuri is poring over his book, I'm loving how that's gonna come into play later. I don't know how, but I'm excited to find out.
Yuri has some ideas.
Sure, and this is exactly, and we'll morph into a bit more of this question period-y bit in just a moment here. But first, as we are traversing the wasteland, the hours begin to tick by as you make your way closer to home. You expect to reach Longmount by around sundown on the second day of this trip out to Fort Lupton, but you never know what might be waiting out there in the wasteland, so let's do a travel test, shall we? Because in the Winter of Adam quest book is a mechanic for journeying across the wasteland, which is a little more robust than the one in the core book, and it involves these guys having to put their collective skills and knowledge of the area together to make a travel test, and depending on how that goes, things could go a little sideways. So gents, as your caravan makes your way across the wasteland, answer me these questions 5. Is the journey along established routes between settlements?
Yeah, I don't think we're off-roading.
Yeah,
we're on the
Absolutely.
road.
Okay, staying on the road, not going any wildness. Okay, that's a good one.
Man, there are so many cacti in Colorado.
Are you going down there?
There's like a bunch of cactus in Colorado.
Are you still on that?
Hey,
sorry, I got distracted.
We want to be, again, as lore
We
accurate.
strive for accuracy here at WGNR.
We have a code of conduct. Yeah.
When it comes to cactus, mistakes don't happen.
No, that's the only thing and the only time mistakes. So the rules of the game, mistakes all day.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes all day.
Are the PCs familiar with the area? Yes.
We came through here.
It's home turf. You guys are on the way home. It's the area under control friendly faction. We determined last time that that's going to be a big old negative. And has the group been given directions? Yes, you know where you're going. Again, and the obstacles in your path easily avoided or circumnavigated. I'm going to say with the amount of stuff that you have here now, I believe on the way there we said that was probably going to be an easy thing for you to overcome, but I think it's going to be a little bit more tricky with the stuff that you've got on your way. So it might be a little bit more difficult than the one that you took on the way to get here. Navigator, who will be the primary making this survival plus endurance test?
Oh, I'm pretty good at survival. Yuri's got a big old 6 in survival.
Yeah,
so
that's not Burton.
I can help too.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yuri will take the lead with some Gunz assisting with a single d20.
Okay. Do you want me to roll?
Yes, so the difficulty of this will, the last thing you need to decide is the speed of the test. Will you be going, how fast are you going to be moving? Cautious, normal, or are you in a rush?
Ooh, gentlemen, what do you think? Are we in a rush to get back?
Like, I'm thinking normal. I don't want
Normal.
to attract too much attention.
I don't want to go too slow, but I also don't want
Yeah.
to like blow a knee on our way to do the thing where we actually have to do more work, you know?
For
Yeah,
sure.
We're all tired when we get there.
I think at this, when they have that conversation, Yuri kind of snaps at you guys a little bit, uncharacteristically. You think,
Ooh, I like this.
but he kind of like grumbles and he says, "All right, I understand. We will make haste, but be cautious."
Hey, relax, man. Take it easy. It's all good.
Just immediately, like,
The whole thing.
yeah. That Matthew McConaughey meme of him like smoking the cigarette, like
Yeah.
that's Yuri is in very much a rush to get home. But yeah, okay. So difficulty is
Okay, so so normal. Then that's actually that's a good call. So were you to go hurried, you would cut your travel time in half, but you would make it a significantly more difficult trip. So your difficulty on this one is going to be a difficulty of 4, which is one spicier than your last attempt. The complication range for it will be 17.
Ooh, okay.
Boy.
All right.
Okay.
Well, here we go. Here we
There
go.
goes nothing.
Okay,
Oh!
that's
Okay,
3
okay.
successes. Oh.
Okay.
And
Can
a
I luck that?
fail.
You can. I believe
Yeah.
your in particular luck points might be pretty low there, Mr. Gunz. But
I
yes,
have-
absolutely
If I
you can.
spend this one, I've got 1 left.
Okay, yeah, absolutely you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do it because I don't want to walk into a spicy trap of spiciness.
Sure.
Survival, go.
Come on, go,
Oh
survival.
shit!
That's worse.
Oh,
that's not better.
That's a worse
Ooh,
roll.
that one.
That's
no.
what we call unfortunate.
That is
That's
an
not good.
unfortunate turn
This may lead to a misadventure.
of events.
Oh,
well, what
no.
it's going to lead to
It's
right
complicated.
now is going to be
It's
a
complicated.
D100 roll from Mr. Raj. Let's bust out the complication dice.
I wasn't even.
And see
know this was happening.
What happens? There we go. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Give me a roll, Mr. Raj, and everyone
Make
hold
it a
their
good
breath.
one.
Give me 56.
A
Okay,
that's
6 better than 50.
Okay, let me see here. That is going to be interesting. As the I look at the complication table here, I like this. The gang, as you travel on your way home, the day is going good so far. As we mentioned, everyone's in pretty good, stable, spirits. You're making all your way home. On top of all of the, all of the weapons and firepower you guys picked up, you'll recall that St. Louis also was able to do a little scavenging both around the area around the base, and yourself and Yuri, and St. Louis were able to do a little bit of scavenging and find what little bit of foodstuffs were left at the base. Otherwise, the entire mess hall had been picked clean, and it was like a disaster in there. Like the mutants had run through and fucking chewed the drywall off the fucking studs. But as you're making your way back through, you've got this hall of food along with the weapons. But as you're getting closer to town, you're passing by a sort of a radiated swamp as you go, and as mentioned before too, the mutants, sort of their presence in the area has really sort of changed the ecology of the area as well. There's more sort of just nasty toxic dumps everywhere, and everything's a lot more barren and again picked clean. There's no game, there's no food, everything's just much more barren than it was before. And as you're traveling along this sort of new toxic spring that's popped up, the caravan itself, the old bed of the Dodge truck that you guys chopped up to turn into the thing.
It was a Toyota Hilux.
Excuse me.
An SR5.
Accuracy is something we strive for. An old Toyota Hilux. One of the wheels of the damn thing hits a pothole and pops off, and as it does, this satchel, duffel bag that you've got the food stuffs that St. Louis has accumulated tumbles off and rolls into everything comes out and like just completely fucking just ass over tea kettle all of the gear that you guys had hauled. And when you finally get everything back in, you discover that indeed this duffel bag's worth of food has fallen into the irradiated sludge. And as per the complication table, all food and drinks carried by the PCs become irradiated.
Can I try to have like
Yuri's like, I don't complete win. I think this is an absolute win.
Could Dorman Gunz try to like dive and catch the bag as it's falling?
I will because if you had complicated originally and tried to like luck your way out of it, I would say yes. But in this particular case, because
is a reaction,
because it's a redo of a redo, I'm going to say that the dice laid is the dice played, and unfortunately,
dice played, baby boy.
That morale boosting boon of food is now good for. Now both of you guys actually, Grant, and Justin, Yuri and Dorman Gunz could chow down on this, no problem. But unfortunately, you're the only two residents of Longmount that would have a pretty good time.
At least it's not a total
private stash.
There you go.
I go hi-fi Yuri, and he's like upset because this means the townsfolk can't eat, and I'm just like,
actually, yeah, you
I
go
see
to
this
high
as an
five
absolute
me.
win.
You
Taco?
gotta high five me, and I just kind of like, no, I just keep walking along past.
Well, that could have gotten a lot weirder. So very fun though in itself. This is a really neat mechanic, and I'm enjoying that we've gotten to try it out. But as the day winds on, after this cacophony of irradiated nonsense, you do indeed make your way to Longmount. The journey does take a little bit longer as anticipated, but you were expecting to get there sort of at sunset. It is now sort of well into the evening by the time you make your way back to the gates. But you do, in fact, make your way to the gates, and it is a very joyous occasion when you do make your way back to town. Because you were expected a little bit earlier, there was a bit of worry, as one could imagine. But by the time you do arrive, the townsfolk come out in droves in their stocking caps and their jammies to come and see you all come back into town. For the sake of brevity and because we are telling a condensed story, we will move forward a bit to the following day. And we'll move now into a bit of narrative milieu, that's the wrong word, but a real je ne sais quoi of nonsense, as you've now returned to Longmount and you've got spoils from your trip. You have about 4 days now proper, that you can expect the mutants to attack in that time. You've got time. What do you want to do with it? And we're going to play a weird game of getting both as specific as you want and as nebulous as you want at the same time, too, as we run into another round of question period. It's a good time to recap what it is you have gotten from the armory, what it is you might have in town. Think about what it is you might need and what it is you might already have in a town's worth of supplies. And you also have a town's worth of people with tons of named NPCs and a decent stockpile of weapons and supplies. You can't be everywhere all at once, right? So in the sake of storytelling, put on your best big brain narrative thinking caps and think of all of the imaginary things that you would like to fight an imaginary army of mutants with. And if there's any activities, right? Like I said, we've got 4 days time. You guys have mentioned, trying to bring in folks from the surrounding settlements. Do you want to send out a hunting party? You want to mention building traps, construct an army of robots, space lasers.
I would like to construct an army of robots, please.
There you go. If it's within reason, and within the ability of something that an old westerny town might mount a defense from some rustlers. I say we go for it. And everywhere on the map, which if I transition over to the screen here, can be essentially reachable within that time and back. I will share the map again in our private chat here as well once I find it. But essentially, you've got the time to, if you want to really go out, far and away, you've got the abilities to do so. Again, traveling and things permitted. We won't go so hard in the paint with the travel test stuff, just to again keep it snappy, but we're almost entering kind of like a montage period, if you will. Like I said, within reason, everything's on the table. You've got time in this town to mount a defense. What do you want to do?
Okay. I have a question for Repairman Bert.
Of course.
Mr. Repairman Bert, do you believe you would be able to get a large piece of scrap metal for me and cut a hole in it? And we stick a machine gun through the hole and I become a tank.
Oh, I see. I mean, absolutely, baby. We just find ourselves the right piece of metal, cut a little hole in there, off the races. Maybe make a little handle so you could wear it like a shield,
That's what I'm thinking. Like a shield, and like shield machine gun are mounted together. Shield is sort of on my left arm, and I'm holding the machine gun and also the shield with my right. And then we set up the other ones that are working, and we make the unworking one work with a massive metal door armor thing in front of it.
That was 100% going to be my suggestion. Let's tinker with the broken gun and to make it super extra awesome.
Okay, so you're gonna take the non-functioning one and try to MacGyver it into like some kind of mobile weapons platform.
Basically, just weld a big piece of metal on the front, and I will carry it into battle with my big guns tag skill.
Floor to ceiling plate armor with like a couple handles and a hole.
A machine gun tower shield is what we're talking about here.
Turret Gunz is my new name.
Turret Gunz. They'll call him after this.
Okay, I'm writing down machine gun person as an option here. Okay, yes, I like this. Okay, we get a little.
Bert's got a thought about a trap type device by taking like a grenade and then taking like glass jars full of like nuts and bolts and like other shrapnel-y type thingies. And just like strategically placing them around the entrances to town that might be breached.
Okay, yeah. So sort of like booby trap shrapnel bombs.
Yeah, improvised shrapnel bombs for sure.
Making some freaking IEDs. Okay.
Yeah, you got some IEDs on the go here.
Okay. I like this. I like that. Yeah, and I think we've already. Well, you picked up some grenades from the shop there. So yeah, I would say that's very doable. In fact, okay. We got a couple things going. Yuri, you got any ideas for any things that might be fun to throw into the mix of what you might be thinking defense wise?
Yeah, actually, Yuri, after reading his U.S. Army Ranger Field Manual, is going to rally some of the or I should say, MacArthur and his crew.
Ooh.
And I would like to spend probably about 2 of the days setting up choke points, enfilade, tiger traps, out in the field around surrounding Longmount. So
Okay.
some punji pits, some tiger traps, some fucking to make the terrain as difficult as possible.
Okay.
And as we're doing this, and like sort of using shovels and pickaxes and whatnot to dig up.
I want everyone to picture this too. As this is going, like we've got the camera sort of panning around town and the different times. We're like, push it to the limit, standing on the razor's edge. Like it's full like montage scene here. Is like guys are
100%.
hammering shit.
You're reading my man.
Running up and down the stairs.
Yep.
I have a tiger.
Yeah, carrying logs.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep
And
going.
for sure, like digging pits and camouflaging them with like punji sticks at the bottom. And I will say, careful around. That's an Escoberia vivipara, or commonly known as the common beehive cactus. It's we don't want to disturb those. They're very rare in this area.
Are you still on that?
I'm going.
What? Is this striving for accuracy?
Here's the thing.
It's flowering here, and we want it to be available for the pollinators to use.
Because we're playing in such a Calvin ball fucking style right now, I now have to write that down because I don't know if that's just you just doing a callback or if that's going to come into play later. So now I have to, what was it called? The beehive cactus.
It's the common beehive cactus or pincushion cactus.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Get out of here.
They kind of surround Longmount, and they're all flowering now at this time of year.
Okay.
Of course
Okay, the beehive cactuses are flowering.
Sure.
The DM writes down in his notebook.
Of course.
May
Their
I
habitat
suggest-
is all environments between the high desert and 8,500.
Is there a mute button on OBS? How does this work? That was
May I
brilliant.
suggest at one of the entrances or approaches to town that we take some of the mines and we have them sort of arranged in like a V-shaped funnel, and then make it as obvious as possible, trample down the grass or whatever, so that, and put signs up saying mines to encourage them to come in through the middle, and then dig out sort of a dirt bunker that's aiming back towards the town. Put at least 1 or 2 of the machine guns in there. So then the super mutants sort of come into the funnel, then they're in the chute, then the machine guns are behind them, they start shooting them behind them.
So you want to kind of create like a sandbag pillbox.
You want to
like
Aimed backwards so that by the time they know it's behind them, we're in front of it. It's and this
I
is
think,
behind them. Yeah.
I think that could be part of like Yuri's sort of creating of defenses, sort of a camouflage pillbox.
Okay.
That I can put some of MacArthur's men down in.
Yeah.
That they only open up after the mutants have already passed.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
And of course,
love
all
it.
the battle rifles should go to as many townsfolk as possible.
Okay.
And Dorman Guns is 100% going to walk around and be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good unit there." Even though he doesn't really use small arms because they're all too tiny for his hands.
Sure,
but, like,
Because he has such big arms.
when he holds a rifle up, it sort of looks like me holding up a pen. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good unit here. This'll blow a hole in the Yelgoi, no problem, boys."
Just really pumping guys up, hey?
Totally. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Plus one to morale.
Hey.
I'm not really keeping track, but I like to say that as plus one to morale. Yeah, exactly.
I'm showing the kids. the
Everybody
iron
liked
sight.
that.
Yay.
Yeah, nice. Okay, there you go. So so get some of the supplies to the other
Supplies.
guys. Supplies. I like that. Okay, now this is good. We've got a good sort of we got about 5 different sort of little mechanic-y things here. This is pretty good. You guys can maybe throw in. And now at this stage here, I'm going to take a quick page out of Justin's DM book, actually, and I'm going to give...
Oh, using my tricks against me.
I'm using your own tricks against you, precisely. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to completely take a hand on the wheel of this bad boy, and... You guys are going to come up with, you've got currently, you've got more action points than I currently have given you credit for at the moment, because you generated some on that trip there. You currently have 5 action points in your pool, and this is going to be wild. I'm going to step away, give you guys 5 minutes, and if you want to come up with any sort of gotcha surprises for these mutants when they come, because remember, you know that they're coming, but they don't know that you're coming.
They don't know we know.
They don't know you know that we know that they know that you know that they're coming, right? So I'm gonna let, because
if I wanted to.
I am in this case the mutants for all intents and purposes. I'm gonna step away quickly and drop the curtain on myself and give you guys a couple minutes to come up with any sort of tactics or battle plans. It doesn't have to be super surprise things, but just So if I don't know, when the rubber hits the road, exactly who's going to be where, and so we're not metagaming this whole thing, because the mutants are coming to town, and who knows what they're going to find. So with that, I will hit a mute screw on this thingamajig here. Oops, what happened there? And we'll be back in just one moment. This is a strange feeling, but it's going to be neat. Enjoy. Text me when
These messages. Okay. So, also Dorman Gunz has a junk jet, and it doesn't say it can't shoot bottles of Andropov cocktails out of it.
Sure. They might explode in the gun. Who knows?
Well-
I think we have a similar idea.
Yeah.
I would like to spend some action points for resources of either crude oil or some sort of flammable, like tar.
Well, we
crude
did
oil.
pick
You
up
wanna
that
drop hot
that
oil from
barrels
the
of
gate?
moonshine.
Well, kind of. I want to saturate sort of the ground on the most obvious approach vector. So when they do come into it, we can kind of create a firewall, a literal firewall, whip a cocktail down there and scorched earth
Absolutely.
policy.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's an old tank of grease or something highly flammable kicking around town.
Yeah, I don't it doesn't need to be
A
fancy.
bin of oil rags.
We
Yeah.
did get barrels of moonshine from Altona.
Okay, yeah. Let's set some barrels up, kind of cover them in camouflage and hit them with the fucking
Okay, so I'm gonna take
Molotov
notes.
cocktail or
We got-
something.
We got barrels.
Explodey.
We've got a bunker with machine gun turrets.
Anything that we can do to disorient them, to confuse them, is
We
kind
dig
of
a small pit with sharpened punji sticks.
yeah. I've already, yeah. That was what
With
Yuri was doing.
sticks.
You got anything for us, Burton? Any ideas?
No, I just wanted to maybe set up some tripwires or something, but
Ooh.
same kind of idea that the Grant said. I would maybe 2 wires where one, and then once they're already past it, they trip another one. So it's not it'll for maximum damage, draw
Yeah,
them like
yeah.
nice and in, and then kaboom, hook those up to the grenades in some fashion.
Okay, so we've got booby traps at the entrances. We've got a minefield. We've got punji pits. We've got a recessed camouflage pillbox behind them, and we've got oil barrels. What do we want to do with where do we want to position the people who are fighting?
I was thinking some of them, if we get a big enough piece of metal, that Dorman Guns can move it kind of by himself, but really he needs a couple other sets of hands to lift it up and walk it forward and drop it, and then they can shoot from like little, if we can like cut a little hole for rifles.
If only we had a very powerful large animal who
If
could.
only. I just don't want to put Enola at risk, but we could
No.
definitely rig up
Wait.
something like that.
Can we make armor for Enola?
I don't know how much time we have. We could probably just either at least hook something up where, yes, people could take refuge sort of behind her. Like, as long as she's armored in some sort of way. Like, just fucking slap a piece of metal on the side of her.
Could we get somebody who had the best armor in town, put them on the rider, and then mount one of the machine guns on like the saddle horn on Enola's back? Because 2 machine guns in the
I
pillbox.
think we're getting a little bit in the weeds here. A little bit too.
Maybe.
We're running out of time, like of
Okay.
stuff that we can actually do. Let's try to keep it just like real simple. Like, if you want Enola May, like we have the truck bed.
Yep.
If you want to mount a machine gun in there and then just have her like be mobile, like hook it up to her.
Yeah, do some like chariot action, like ride around the periphery shooting from the sidelines.
Or it could be a surprise tactic.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if we want to take her out into the field and
Bring her
then
in from one side.
and then come behind, when
Yeah.
the pillbox opens up.
Or
Have
once all the mutants have funneled into town, Enola would still have been waiting outside and then coming from behind.
On the other side of the firewall.
On the other side of the firewall.
Fine. From the other side of the firewall. Okay, I like that. Let's put a machine gun in the truck bed, hook Enola May up, take her out and hide her in some bushes, and then when shit pops off, she'll come in from behind and open up with the machine guns.
Okay.
Aha!
Aha! Okay,
Ah.
supplies.
Supplies.
And then we're going to finish the Rube Goldberg machine, and in the end, it will do nothing. Surprise Boulette.
And
Hold on,
then
one single domino
mouse-
over at the end.
And then mousetrap.
Okay, yeah. And anything I should know? Anything you want to ask or engage with out of this time, or will it all be surprised when the time comes?
Do I need to roll to see how well I craft a metal shield type thing?
Yes.
For grants and repairing the gun and all that.
He already rolled it. He rolled 50
Oh.
successes.
Oh yeah, I
And
rolled
Yeah,
so many ones.
Perfect.
It was all ones.
The
Perfect.
dice
Okay.
just said we win.
Fantastic, yes. In fact, yes, we will have to do a couple of things here, and I wanted to close the loop on just a couple of things as well. During this time, because you had mentioned Yuri as well in the previous episode, the folks at the Altona. Did you want to
Yes.
do anything with them?
I have something for that,
Okay.
but I kind of want to wait for
Sure,
it
it
for
can
a
be-
second
Yep.
until we're done.
Absolutely.
Until we're done this.
Yep.
How far away is the Altona on foot?
It's
Like,
about a day's ride if you're hoofing it.
so it's like it would be like 2 days. So I've spent 2 days creating the booby traps and pits and whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I do have
Okay.
something for this.
Okay, cool. Yes, so then in that case, let's go ahead and do this crazy building a weird-ass tower shield machine gun for Dorman Guns. So yeah, I would say, yeah, through, just the random wreckage and stuff, because you guys have been repairing and building, the town wall for a while. Like, you've got scrap metal and things that you would be able to use for this task. But yeah, I think in this case, because you're making such a bizarre sort of thing, yeah, we'll make it a little spicy. It'll be a difficulty 3, repair plus. We'll make it a science roll, I guess it will be, or whichever you are better at. I will give you the advantage of science or repair.
Actually, I'm equally good at both.
Okay.
Maxed out at 6, and they're both tag skills. So
Dealer's
your
choice.
words.
There you go. Okay.
So let's do repair to live up to the name Repair.
It's in the
And
name.
Intelligence.
Repair intelligence, correct. It'll be a difficulty 3, sir.
Okay. How many dice can I buy? I want to buy at least 1 dice.
Yep, you've got 5 AP in the pool here. So if you are needing any, you can spend some.
I'm gonna buy
Okay,
2. Can I buy 2 dice for 3 AP?
Yep.
Let us figure out. You were taking notes. Sorry, just really quick. So say we
Yes.
spend 1 AP on every part of our plan. How many parts do we have in total there, Grant?
Well, one of these probably doesn't need any AP. I would say there's probably 4 of these that are going to be trickier to pull off. And
So
then,
let's say our plans spend overseer. Would that be appropriate? We spend 4 of our AP on plans.
I would say so. It would sound about right, given
Okay.
I don't know precisely what it is, but yeah, I would say that would probably be about fair if you guys would.
So I'll just buy 1 dice then, because the
sounds
second dice
about
costs me
right.
2.
Yeah, there you go. So
Additional.
that'll
Okay.
that'll clean you out, but that's not so bad.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Please, oh please.
Big rolls, big rolls, big rolls.
Oh!
oh my God, yes.
Big
5
time.
successes.
Big time,
You-
big time, buddy.
You made money on that.
There we go.
On that
I
one.
made-
There you-
I did the business.
You did do a business.
So I made the hell out of that thing for you, Gunz.
Yeah, you did just that. Yeah, in fact, you find like it's like you take a bunch of sheets of corrugated like steel and you like sandwich them together about like four plates thick, and then are able to like cut out like this little sort of slot, if you will. It's got like almost like the grill of like a knight's helmet that you can see out of their guns, and it's more like almost like a shoulder sort of like harness thing. So you've got like kind of like you're kind of like baby Bjorning the machine gun on your chest.
Oh, and like got like hooks.
Yeah, and you're carrying the thing. Now, but while you are in this apparatus, like that's what you're doing. Like you are like you are either in this thing and it is doing something, or you are out of it and it's not.
That's fair.
Yep. But you are in it, and we will say that it in fact gives you some additional protection. You're already a pretty armored boy, but it will increase your defense by 1, and give you the attack of a Mark III, I believe it is, machine gun turret that you can use as your major action.
Major action.
Major action.
So the thing that we're not going to tell you about, but has to do with an Enola, that's probably another action point roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have to tell you now?
No, why don't we do it this way? As to keep sort of the flavor. What we'll do is that when something would come up, either narratively for you guys,
We'll make the roll
for either you guys to pull a gotcha on me, or if or if it's on your turn. Actually, let's say that if it's if there's something you want to do on your turn, you can either spend the AP then, or you can, or if you want to like forego your major action's worth of AP basically, to trigger one of these traps, one of these gotchas, go that way. Or if there's an encounter. There's a moment during the battle where it's like, oh, right now is the perfect time to drop the nuclear space laser. Then drop the nuclear space laser. Give me a well, actually, or
well, actually,
yeah, just stop it dead and make it happen. This is an ambush of the highest order and of a long tradition of Western ambushes, and there are no rules when it comes down to rustlers, baby. But I like this. We've gotten ourselves to a very interesting spot here now, and as we get to, we'll say as the sun sets today, on the end of the second day of the Longmountingness, and I'll say, yeah, sure, it is about evening time on the second day of your 4-day trek. The townsfolk going about their business on their tasks that they have been tasked to by you all, and whomst ever is about the town is doing what it is they do to get ready. The spirits are high, but things are tense. Before we head off into a little bit of a half-time break, is there anything you guys would like to do?
Yuri would like to do something, but you guys go first. If you have
for
anything
Bert.
to do.
Bert's all good. All good now.
Okay,
I
we've
think
set up.
Roman Gunz is- yeah,
We've set up all of our turrets, right? They're all
Yeah.
allocated.
Yeah.
The townsfolk are doing the things that we told them to do.
they are.
We're having a good, bad, and the ugly moment of getting the town ready to fucking fight the oncoming invaders.
It's all happening.
All right. As the sun sets, Yuri very casually but confidently walks into where the radio is stationed, and clicks it on, and you just see a green ghoul hand pick up the receiver and click it on. Altona station. Do you read?
Yeah, we got you, Mr. Yuri. Is that you? It's Cookie's voice comes across the radio.
Hello, Cookie. Grab everything that you can and prepare. I'm coming to get you. And he clicks the radio off, and under cover of evening time, sneaks out of Longmount in the direction of the Altona Motel.
Ooh.
By himself.
Ooh. As a ghoul wanders off into the wasteland with just the cherry of a cigarette lighting his way. Dorman Gunz, you from across the on the other end of town were conveniently running some menial task that you thought was odd that you would be doing right now, that Yuri had you running. It seems that he may have sent you off to go and do this little mission of his own, and you get a feeling suddenly that maybe, just maybe, somebody got the better of you, as you notice that Yuri is nowhere to be found.
Dum, dum, dum.
And that's where we will leave it for our halftime break, ladies and gents, because when we return, we will be one step closer. In fact, very, very, very close to what may be known as the Siege of Longmount. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we will also have the draw for our fun little show here today. We've got the I keep saying Children of Adam, Winter of Adam quest book, courtesy of our friends over at Modifius Entertainment, to give away to one of you fine folks here today. So please do hit me up with a exclamation point prize pack, one word, in the chat, and we're going to do that draw when we come back. The Wheels of Names is acting a little bit funny, so we'll do the draw and we'll come back with a name. So get those names in now, right up until the point where we come back in about, we will give it, I will say it is 8:30 right now, about on the dot. We'll say just a little bit over 5 minutes, and we'll get back into closer to 10, and we'll get back into the action here today. So exclamation prize point in the chat. Stay tuned, because we've got all kinds of surprises. I don't even know what's about to happen for half of this battle here.
You don't know.
I'm blissfully unaware, and I'm very excited about it. So stay tuned, gang. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
is open once again. We find ourselves back in the saddle again into our show. It's back in the second half of A Fistful of Neutrons, Home on the Rage, a mini-series told in 3 parts by us with our stupid mouths. And thank you all so much for coming and watching it and enjoying it with us. We are jumping back in to the finale of this 3-parter, where the gang here have been mounting a defense in the town of Longmount itself, as a band of roving super mutants make their way ever closer to town. And we open our scene not in Longmount. In fact, we open on midday in a familiar scene to viewers of Season 1, and a little spot a little bit down the road along the Boulder Loop trade route into what used to be a somewhat thriving, by Wasteland standards, a pit stop on the side of this trade route known as the Altona Hotel. A small, what used to be in the pre-war times, a literal ghost town of a what once was old boom town in the 1800s, has now been repurposed into this way station, which served as a spot for traders like yourselves to stop along the road, which you've done a few times. But now it is a lot more rundown than it once was. The sort of wall that once surrounded it is now little more but sticks and scrapped cars. It's seen a lot of action as Yuri Andropov approaches the settlement, and the settlement is again a bit of a stretch because the building of this pre-war ghost town is there's only about half of it now, to be quite honest. It seems that there was a fire here, and most of the what used to be the rooms of the actual hotel itself are little more than rubble, but the bar itself does seem to be standing, as there is a plume of smoke still rising from the ashes as Yuri makes his way towards the gates. And Yuri sees from inside the gates, again, it's a pretty ramshackle fence, but you can tell that there's some activity going on inside as you make your way towards. What do you do, sir?
Yeah, I think he's going to approach cautiously, but with cautious haste, and call out, Mr. Alexander, Miss Cookie, Robbie, and is anyone there? It's Yuri Andropov.
Yeah, you see the figures from around the side of the building start to make their way closer. And indeed, you see Mr. Alexander and Robbie approaching closely as Mr. Alexander pipes up and says, "Oh gosh, Mr. Yuri, you done made some good time getting here. I have to say, I wasn't sure you were gonna make it."
Myself as well. It is good to see you, Mr. Alexander. And I'll go to shake his hand.
It is shook.
Yeah, and then actually I'm gonna bring him in for a little half hug, one of those half hugs. It is very good to see you.
He sort of kind of not resists, but doesn't really react as this sort of kind of happens around him, and as you sort of pull away, you see the look of who you know to be a very friendly and affable man. His eyes seem very distant. Much more so than you've ever seen, and this this embrace does take him a bit by surprise, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, well, it's good to see you too, Mr. Yuri. I have to admit, when we first heard the signal come across a few days ago, I wasn't sure if I'd finally lost it, but it's good to see a familiar face."
I take a look around and ask, where is Miss Cookie? Are there any other guests here?
As as you
No, Miss Cookie.
ease up there, will
Okay,
you? Now
okay.
Hey, don't miss Cookie.
you talked to you talked to Cookie yesterday on the radio, but
I did.
Yes. As you ask Mr. Alexander about, as you take a look around and ask him about the state of the hotel and any guests, you can tell by taking a look around that now that you're actually inside the compound proper, is really disheveled. You'll remember it was sort of the main building and then a couple of sort of the other ghost towny type buildings and outbuildings around. And other than the hotel itself, which is again in pretty bad shape, most of the other buildings are completely ruined now, similar to what's happened in Longmount. As for guests, Mr. Alexander says, well, we can't say we've had anyone in quite some time. When the troubles first started, when they first came, we had a full house, and well, we did what we could, but there was just so many, and it was the hounds really that got us first. But a few of the guests made it, but we hunkered in place after that, and well, they just kept coming, and a few of them got out. And I don't know what happened to them since, and we've had a couple stragglers here and there, but over the last few weeks, you're the first face I've seen in some time.
Yeah, Yuri's going to put his hand on Mr. Alexander's shoulder and say, you have done well here. You have survived, and that is what is most important. However, it is time to come and make a stand with us at Longmount. You'll be safer there, and we could certainly use your hand.
As Mr. Alexander looks at you and he looks around, you can see that sort of pain in his eyes pang even more. This place has been his blood, sweat, and tears for so long. And I mean, the Altona is an institution, and the stories of even you folks helping out there before with the mutant attack did nothing but solidify it as, one of the few beacons of hope. And Mr. Alexander looks and says, I know, it's been something that's been weighing on my mind, and
we can always rebuild the Altona, but there will be no one to rebuild it if you are dead.
Well, that's surely not going to happen, as Miss Cookie walks out.
Yeah,
from the
Miss
bar room.
Cookie.
Yeah. And you see...
Miss Cookie, I brought you something. And he has a potted cactus that he gives to...
Jesus Christ.
What is the species and genus of said cactus?
That's a good question, actually.
Oh God.
It is actually a small king cup cactus.
Those are my favorites. Those are real. I've seen them.
It's got red blooms. It's quite rare in this neck of the woods. It's normally in the Mojave. Yeah, but Yuri saw it, and he took a quick second to dig it up and put it into an old, let's say, coffee tin that he found.
I love this, and this is just absolutely fantastic. As you give the cactus to Miss Cookie, it is a perfect segue into our giveaway results winner from our Winter of Adam quest book giveaway that
you
we
too
ran
will win a
here during the
cactus.
thing. You too will win a cactus. The proverbial cactus of this book is the winner. We did the spin. That just reminded me because I forgot to do the announcement at the top of the show, because the winner of our giveaway for this was what is it? Where did it go? Oh, there we go. James Monson. James Monson. Thank you so much for
James.
spinning the wheel with us today and winning. I forgot we spun the wheel. The wheel's not working today, so we had to do it off camera. But we've got the winner, James Monson. If you're watching here today, drop us a line, wgnr@gmail.com, or I'll drop you the line ourselves. I believe we've got you in the Discord. So thank you again for everyone for tuning in. We'll have another giveaway coming up on our next stream. So thank you all for tuning in. But as we snap back to reality, as I remember now where we were at, indeed, Miss Cookie takes this cactus, and you can see that she looks just as disheveled as the rest. But as you get this cactus back into her hands, she she lights up and says, well, this'll look mighty fine. This'll look mighty fine in the barroom, I think, Mr. Yuri. In fact, I'm going to place it right here. She walks in. Why don't you come with me? Robbie, Alexander, get your ass in here, too. She pulls you all into the bar. She sets it down onto the bar. The cactus. She grabs a bottle of vodka and 4 shot glasses. And she pours them all out and slides one to each of you. And the last one, she looks at Robbie. And she slides to him. I think it's about time you've earned this, son. Now, don't go getting any bright ideas. But I figure a day like today, we could all use a drink. She raises it, cheers to you, and takes a shot back. I do appreciate this gift here, Mr. Yuri, but I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to take it with me.
Well, you won't need to water it for at least 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks or so during the summer season, and once during the winter season. You will have to water it.
Well, that's fantastic. That's good to know that it'll survive because, well, I'm going to leave it.
It'll be a beacon of hope for the Altona. You to return.
That's just right because I'm going to be coming back here. And I'm going to be coming back here with my son. And I'm going to be coming back here with my husband, as pig-headed as he is, because we are leaving, Alexander, and we're going to take this fine ghoul up on his offer.
Yeah, come to Longmount. Okay, I want to make it back in post haste. We're going to be burning rubber.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to move as fast as humanly possible.
Yes, indeed. And because you've taken the time to do this, Cookie does look at you and says, well, I hope you don't mind, but you're not going to be going back empty-handed. As she pulls out 3 Andropov cocktails for you to put into your satchel, Mr. Andropov. To do with as you see fit, should you decide to do anything with them at all. But
I'll probably throw them.
Well, there you go. But you've got them now on your way. Now, we didn't do a test to make you go on the way there, but we will make you do one on the way back. Quick and painless. It's only going to say, because I'm going to say you're moving in friendly territory, I'll set the base at difficulty 2, and should you decide to if you do it a normal test, it'll be difficulty 2. If you want to do it a hurried test, you'll make it back in better time, but it will be a difficulty 3
Difficulty
test.
trace. Okay, I'm going to go for the difficulty 3.
Okay.
I'm rolling. Oh, okay. We're going to burn a luck point.
Okay.
We're
burning a luck point.
I need...
I should say your complication range on this is 18, I do believe. So you just missed out there.
So I need... My target number is endurance. It's 10. So just need lower than 10, baby.
Okay.
Yeah!
Hey!
That's a crit success.
That's a crit
That
success.
is 4 successes.
You've in fact generated an action point on that, so we'll put that into the pool as well. Not too
We are hauling
shabby.
ass.
You are hauling ass. In fact, I mean, if there's a road that Yuri knows, it's this one. And the trip that would normally take you about a full day, which would get you back right in the time of when you could expect mutants to arrive. We snap back instead to Longmount, where a nervous Dorman Gunz sits on the front gates of town, where he has been for most of the day.
Gunz, you're such a good boy.
Looking out across the wastes, again, as the town is again a feverish hive of activity as things go about. As the trip goes closer and closer, as the day winds closer and closer down, Gunz, you begin to fear that maybe Yuri, everything's running through your mind at this point. You know he had a bent for the Altona, but how and why he disappeared, still, your mind is just absolutely racing as what could have happened. When we are about to give up hope, you see a speck on the horizon, and it gets closer, and you do, in fact, see from far out away Yuri and the crew come through. What do you do?
Yeah. I'm definitely standing up, and I start, banging Excalibur against a random piece of scrap that I find. And I'm
Ooh.
hooting and hollering.
Hootin' and hollerin'. This is fantastic. This hootin' and hollerin' grabs the attention of the townsfolk and MacArthur's Guard, as they're now known. Call them the town's guard.
Hey, we got Towns Guard now, team. We got a Towns
You
Guard.
got a town's guard. You trained him up real well. As there are, I like this. They've got sort of like a tattered sort of look. They had their sort of Legion uniforms that had been sort of converted into wastelandery sort of vibe. But you know what? I like this.
Is there a patch or some sort of badge or something?
I like this. While you guys were in the barracks, you found, I'll say, like a bunch of old uniforms or something, like flak jackets or something, and you got them back home with you took what was valuable. It's not body armor or anything, but sure enough,
not plate carriers.
No, but the townsfolk were able to sort of take some of the stitching off, and there's like an insignia, in fact, of this platoon or something that was stationed at this base, and in fact it's a cactus. No, that would be fucking stupid. But it's a it's a bull. It's a bull's head. It's a it's like a like the air cav symbol. Like the old Vietnam, like air cav, the horse's head, right? It's like that, but a bull. So I don't know. It'll be the 614th Colorado Infantry's in this world's, I don't know, I'm just making some shit up. It was a pre-war insignia, which has now been stitched onto the uniforms of anyone serving in MacArthur's Guard. And they see the townsfolk, the guard now lines the gates, and they get in with the hooting and the hollering too, and they're pounding the gates, like hockey players with the sticks on the boards, as the gates swing open and Yuri and the Altona family make their way into town.
Nice. Dope.
Dope. It is the evening and the day. The town is now, is approaching evening of the day when the mutants are on the move. The townsfolk have now come out. There's a whole big fucking shenanigans going on. The clock is down. If there was a time that somebody wanted to give a rousing speech, this would be it.
Dorman Gunn stands up.
Okay.
It's gonna be short. Someone get ready to step in because we'll see.
I got you.
Because I have a speech of 0. How's that?
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah. The whole town is basically gathered among you all now. You guys, the core group is at the top of the barricade of the promenade, whatever it is, over the main gate of town. The dais, yes. Everyone, the whole town is looking up at St. Louis, Carla, Dorman Gunz, Bert and Ernie, Yuri, the whole fucking family. Crazy Carl is in the crowd with Muffy. He say, "So, what is the plan exactly?"
So, mutants are coming, and they're gonna try to kill a bunch of us. And but we got a plan. We're gonna kill them first. Most of them, maybe some of us are probably gonna die, but that's okay.
Yeah. As you say the D word, Yuri puts his hand
Gasp
on
in
your
the crowd.
shoulder.
You notice I'm sweating and like trembling a little, like I have a fear of public speaking.
Have you ever seen a super mutant sweat?
Yeah, exactly. And it is pungent, but not in a terribly bad way.
Okay.
Yeah. I say, Pedro, I appreciate the sentiment, but
No,
maybe
I
I
sit
should.
down fast.
Yeah. Yuri kind of looks down at his feet, and you see a cardboard box, and he opens it up, and he looks inside, and he smiles, and he says, "It has been a very long time since I have given a sermon, and I'm not going to start now." But and then he starts passing out really old pre-war emergency candles, like for when the power goes out.
Okay, yep.
And he lights up a cigarette and smokes it. And when everyone has a candle, he then lights his candle, and he says, "This is my candle. It is a small flame, but the smallest flame beats all darkness." And then he goes to the closest person to him and lights their candle.
Ooh,
and says,
okay.
"One person can light the fire for another, and together our light grows. You will all be safe as long as we work together and light each other's candle." And as Yuri's giving this speech, everyone starts lighting each other's candles.
Yeah, they
in the
do.
crowd.
And then they tell two friends.
And then
And
they
tell
tell
two
two
friends.
And then all of a sudden I'm rich. But yeah,
Multi-level marketing.
As the candles start getting lit in the crowd, the darkness that has descended on the town, the circle of light grows larger and larger out, and says, "We are going to make the stand here, together, for Longmount, for each other, for our home. Your little candle will beat all darkness." And Yuri puts his candle up into the sky.
As the townsfolk echo this move and cheer out as well in a hootin' and hollerin' hootenanny, as exactly that, the light of your candles and the warmth of your hearth is warmed by this rousing speech. I'm not going to make you roll for it. That was just really good. The townsfolk are moralized. You have a
They are moralized.
They are moralized.
They're into it.
You have a feeling, they are roused, and they are as amped as they are going to be as the townsfolk then spread out from this and go about their work as the day does in fact come to an end, and the sun has perfectly set, just as the candles and this candlelight vigil is lit. But as they go about their business and about their grim tasks, the sun itself is setting down below the Rocky Mountains. And as that glow begins to die down and the glow of your candles now extinguished, there is another glow that begins to take its place off to the north. Small at first, but soon begins to grow and grow, begins to engulf the entire horizon in a sickly green yet orange hue. And as it approaches, you hear the drums. The steady rhythm grows louder and louder and louder and louder as you finally see the horde for what it is, a sea of grotesque, hideous creations of pre-war science gone horribly, horribly wrong. Mutants in all shapes and sizes, hounds, hideous monstrosities like rad stags, and just all manner of wasteland creatures, all mutated into horrendous, nasty looking abominations. And they are all headed in your direction. It is a wave of horrors, the likes of which you have never seen. And in fact, as the night grows darkest, this light shining from them, you see that there's mutants holding these torches that are glowing in this bizarre hue that you've never seen in your life, and just this absolute horror show. It is like the Wasteland's worst nightmare come real, and you only have a few moments before the town is surrounded, but I'm going to need a D100 roll because we need to see what kind of crazy ass cinematic weather is going to come into this battle, because it needs to be a Steven Seagal level fucking rain fight or something.
There's a Helm's Deep happening here.
So he's gonna injure all of his stunt people.
Yeah. Give me a roll on the D100,
It's gonna
Raj.
become bloated and crazy.
A two.
A two. That is the lowest roll we've ever seen on the D100, and it is none of these were particularly good. I'll let you know that right off the bat. But
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
As the horde approaches, the ground is literally shaking with the boots. It is untold numbers, damn near countless, as they approach. And as they approach, on the wind, on top of this weird light emanating from these mutants' torches that they're carrying, is as well a wind. And with it, you can tell that it's not just this mutant horde that's emanating this light. It is, in fact, the winds of a radstorm blowing towards you. So, how that will take effect will be that for anyone not taking shelter, so mechanically, not like underneath a roof or, taking, underneath some type of shelter of some kind, will take 1 point of radiation damage throughout the battle. So there will be some rad.
I see this as an absolute win.
For two of you, this isn't a big deal. For two of you, this isn't a big deal at all. But for the townsfolk,
like in the shower, like wow,
yeah,
I believe my luck.
In fact, a bolt of lightning cracks down through as I turn on the thunderstorm sound effects, as the rain and lightning begins to crackle, and in fact, the green winds blowing stronger and stronger and stronger as you see. Now, getting closer and closer through the horde, it comes to a complete and utter stop. Unexpectedly, as the drums themselves come to an absolute dead pin drop as well. The rain pounds off the sheet metal as the town is now entirely surrounded by a mutant horde. Its massive mutated bodies, limbs, and gnashing teeth suddenly pushes its way through the sea of mutants, and the drums begin to beat again, and the tides shift, and you see the center, what looked like just a mass of mutant bodies, is in fact one gigantic mass of mutant body. As you see, Yuri, what you are the only one would recognize as a centaur, but it's not an average looking centaur about the size of, a Buick. It is the size of a goddamn building. It is the largest creature that you've seen since the Mirelurk encounter in the swamps. A gigantic, grotesque thing. It is, there are bodies coming out of the bodies of this thing. You can see fully grown super mutants attached to the side of it. It's more like the Blob than it is a centaur.
And need more than candles, I think.
You might need slightly more than candles. It's made up of the remains of hounds and creatures and wastelanders and just ungodly faces and teeth and just all kinds of pre-war technology. Also, there's machines inside this thing. It's been absorbing anything that it can. And at its core, you see this glass tank of a glowing, pulsating ooze. And there are all manner of tubes and conduits and like alien xenomorph looking nasty shit. Like, it's just a really gross, it's not a chill hang, right? And through these pumps, these tubes is pumping sludge to different parts of this massive hulk. And as it lumbers towards the town, the drums start in this slow beat again. And it lets out a bellow that shakes the gates. And when it does, it screeches out in a voice that is like a dozen voices all at once from all of the horrors inside this thing. And it just screams, "Locust will feed.
Cool.
You will be unity." As the echoes of the Super Mutants chant in unison, "Unity, unity, unity," as we charge the gates, and you gentlemen will be able to look at the town map gate in our lovely situation here that we have on Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah.
So Dorman Gunz is fine, but Grant has just pooped.
Okay,
I
good.
have pooped.
I am
I just want you
excited
to know poop has happened.
I am excited about all of that. The combat tracker is a little
I'm
out
less
of
excited about it.
the combat tracker is a little out of whack, so give me one moment here, folks.
No worries.
But
Also,
yes,
yeah,
the battle has begun.
As our first gotcha moment, Yuri is not actually at the gates.
Ooh.
No one.
Talk to me.
Overseer, you don't know where Yuri is, but he's certainly not at the gates.
Okay. I'm going to put a note here. Yuri, not at the gates.
Not at the gates.
I love it. I
Where
love not
could he
knowing
be?
what is happening. It's a really great time. Give me 2 seconds to get the fight music going here, gentlemen. As...
You don't need that.
I
don't.
think I might. I think
Mightn't you?
mightn't. I think I mightn't.
Shan't you?
Yes.
That's a die.
Shouldn't you?
Oh, it might have been just a way too loud there for a moment. My apologies, folks. But we are back in action here as I get the battle map going up here as well. One moment. Apologies if that was super loud, but we've got the battle map back here. Let me go in full screen mode. Oh, Fantasy Grounds has done an update, and I don't like the new full screen. There we go. We are back. So, folks, we have a battle on the go here. The initiative, I believe, is going to start with... let me look here, is going to be our man. I'm giving you some NPCs to control in this battle should you choose. We've got, if this bursts your bubble in any of your surprises, I've given a St. Louis NPC, as well as, I believe you'll have option for Margot if you should choose. If you have need for any of those peoples, let me know.
Okay.
I don't think they were doing anything else.
Okay. Also,
I think this is probably where they'd like to be.
okay, I like it. I love it. Then
I
we...
want some more of it.
I want some more of it. So the
I
combat
would like to
tracker is
point
a
out
little funny here.
that there is something that will be interesting for you, Overseer.
Oh, yes?
But actually there's several different things.
Oh, I'm sure
And
there
I'm-
will be.
I think we are the three of us players are looking forward to going. Actually,
I am looking forward to that happening as well, to be quite honest with you. Here we go. We've got the combat tracker in. Sorry, I don't know why everything was completely out of whack there, but we are back in action because the combat tracker starts with Yuri. Mr. Yuri, is there anything you would like to do? You said you were not around the gates.
Not at the gates. Yuri's nowhere to be seen. You would think he'd be at the gates, but he ain't there. So
Okay.
Yuri is going to actually lay low. You don't
Okay.
know what he's doing, but he's somewhere doing something.
Yuri is somewhere doing something. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I'll put the Repairman, Bert, and Gunz then on the map there. Gentlemen, you are on the gate there. If you would like to be anywhere else, feel free to move yourselves at the moment because the mutants are now appearing on your maps. We've got you see a wave of hounds, in fact, is the first thing you see in front of you, followed behind a group of super mutants, a pack of them, if you will, and then this monstrosity centaur in the middle. And I want you to think in this battle, think about it less, that there are specific, targets here for you guys to aim at, but think of it less as you're shooting at one super mutant or one mutant hound as a group of them, and they've got like a set number of hit points. So when you're shooting at, for example, Mutant Hound 1, you're shooting at the first group of mutant hounds. And it's safe to say that there will be, potentially a numerous amount of waves of things coming at you depending on it when you kill something. So we find ourselves now at the battle, and with Yuri not doing anything, it is in fact Repairman Bert and Ernie who's up first. Mr. Bert, what would you like to do?
I suppose I'll just take a shot with my 44.
Okay.
At one of these mutant hounds.
I like it. Fire away, Mr. Bert.
That'll hit, it seems.
I would say so. Let's roll some damage dice. Ooh, yeah, 6 damage, in fact. Your shot rings through, and these mounds of hounds start charging towards you, and your 44 very deftly and accurately clips through and kabam, with full stomping power. One of them just stops and goes flying backwards, does a backflip as your 44 has taken one of the pounds of hounds out from this group of mutant. That was Mutant Hound 1 there you have just done some damage to. Well done, sir. Anything else you would like to do with your minor action?
Nope. I'm all good.
Okay, he's all good. Well then, in fact, it will move next to Mutant Hound 1, and the rest of the Mutant Hounds, in fact, will get to go unassailed at this point. As they begin charging, they're actually going to spend some action points. I'm going to spend some of my action points on me here to move Mutant Hound 1. I will spend an AP to double move them.
So question.
Up to closer to the gates. Yes.
If a mutant hound were running over a minefield, say, how would you as the overseer want to deal with that?
I would say that if a bunch of mutant hounds were running towards the gates, I don't think that they would really have any ideas about any minefields at all. So is this our first gotcha moment?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about what has just gotcha.
So we have set up mines in sort of a funnel. So
Okay.
not right in front of the gate, but in a funnel in front of the gate, and leading everything into the middle.
Okay.
Of a gate.
So like everything except for the very path, like anything that goes, you want to drive things towards the gate.
Yes.
Yeah. The plan is we want you to get I'm assuming that you're going to take this in rule of cool and good confidence. The overarching plan is to get you to come to us.
Yeah, okay.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Yeah, this works out well because in fact the mutant hounds themselves were not going for the gate proper. They were going for the walls around the gate. So it would sound like they have walked fully into
Danger zone.
the danger zone. Highway. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's go with that. In fact, why don't we say let's pull out. So are these the shrapnel mines that Bert had in place there?
I believe they were trip wire, or they were the. Sorry.
Paint me a narrative of what you guys made. Yes.
It's the anti-personnel mines that we have put into the ground.
Oh, okay. So
pressure
yes.
plate.
Old school mines. I
think there was also a mixture of like trip wires with grenades.
It's a mixed density field.
It's a mix.
Yeah.
I like it. This is great. So yeah, this is one of the things that MacArthur's boys were you had them working on doing
those little wooden bastards the mine detectors can't pick up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. In fact, these are
10 points if you can tell me that movie.
These are things that you found in the Ranger handbook, right? Like behind enemy lines, like tripwire type things. Yeah. So let me just look up. In fact, then what mines we'll call them frag mines.
Great mines.
Frag mines do 6 damage dice. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is a thing that happens. and you do 6 damage dice worth to each of these 3 groups of doodads. So let's just go ahead and do that. Oops, that is not what was supposed to happen. How do I do the thing again? There we go. 5, 6. So you do this many damages.
Well,
That's a lot of damages.
Ooh, that'll do. You do
Many.
6 damage to each of those 3 groups, and so as they stride and they're running and they're running and they're running, you can see that they're going and like they start to like get ready to leap and go towards like they're trying to leap the gates. They don't give a fuck about these walls. They're coming for it. But as they hit these unseen mines, well, you just see a camera zoom up on the sand, and just one little tiny green puppy paw push down, clink, and as the one goes off, the rest of them just like I don't know, we'll say about like a dozen or so of these improvised mines.
Criminal minds.
Criminal mines go off, and do a good chunk of damage to these nerdlingers.
Mind games.
Stop it.
Mind games.
Criminal mind.
Boo. Well done. Well done.
mind
Yes.
the gap.
Well
Okay.
done indeed. You have done the thing. Those guys have taken some damage. In fact, that's going to be enough to take one of the groups, the one that Bert did some damage to, out of the equation entirely. So well done. There are now only 2 groups of mutant hounds going for the sides of the gates, and they are not looking great, either of them. That does bring it now to the 2 super mutant packs behind them, which sort of charge in as well in similar form. And I'm going to go ahead and completely empty out my action point pool because I'm spending a lot to do something.
Great.
As they
love
approach, you Gunz, you finally get a look at these nerds, and you can see now that as I mentioned, they were carrying these torches, these sticks with these glowing lights on top, and as they get closer, you can see they're running, charging with these things, and they come to a dead stop, and then throw and huck, and it takes you a moment because it's impossible what you're seeing, but you and only you would know that as it comes flying past you and flying past the gates itself is a wriggling, looks like to be a tentacled squid-like monstrosity that you know to be a floater. Which is a super mutant, pustule, nasty, growing spore-like thing, which is not something that has been seen in these parts or in a long time. And there are now 2 of these gross things that have been launched, or 2 packs, if you will, of these things that are now behind enemy lines, just behind the gates as you see them now. They are really gross and glowing in these green, floaty, pustule clouds. That is the mutants. It is now your turn, Dorman Gunz. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm going to turn my tower shield machine gun door
Yes.
towards the group of mutant hounds labeled numero 3.
Okay. Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll my big guns.
Well, I should one moment here. Let me give you.
yeah?
I think the machine gun turret.
Ooh, is it going to show up in my inventory?
That is the plan. Let me see.
That's very cool. I like fantasy grounds.
It is pretty great. Oh, I think it's an item. Hold on. No, it's an NPC, which is weird. So maybe it won't show up in your inventory. 1 second. Can I drop an NPC into a character's inventory? Let's find
We'll
out.
find out.
And that's how they start the game.
And that might be how we blow up Fantasy Grounds.
Divide by 0.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't,
Oh, God.
It doesn't work. But what we'll do is we'll roll it as your big guns, and then you'll just roll the damage on it, which is 7 damage dice.
7. Now, hopefully, I'm rolling right now here. Hopefully, my big guns are going to give me some burst. So that is
that's a big
not a
miss.
hit.
Not quite, not quite. Do you want to spend any action points to try to shoot again?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot again.
Sure.
I'm gonna shoot again.
Okay, we will.
Come on, no
spend
batter,
some
no
AP.
batter. Okay.
All right, well, that's better.
There you go. You kind of balance that one out a little bit there. You got 1 AP in the pool now. Roll me 7 damage dice onto these houndlingers.
Couple ammo.
Ooh,
so burst
kablamo.
also gets triggered.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does indeed. So you're going to be able to do some damage to the area, which is the other hounds. As well. Here's what I'll say for this. Normally, this requires the spending of ammo. What I'll say is, rather than spending the ammo to do it, because you spent the action point, you can activate the spread and hit both groups, essentially wiping out both of these. But it will eat up your major action from your next turn. So you'd be basically trading a guaranteed kill now for not being able to do anything next turn.
Oh yeah. Gunz is gonna squeeze out the kills. Just, I'm doing it.
He's doing it. Okay, we're gonna trade the major action for just sheer volume of fire. And in fact, why don't you tell me how you want to do this, Gunz?
Volume of Fire is my middle name. So
Doorman Volume of Fire Gunz.
My big scrap metal steel thing, I plop it down on top of the shipping container I'm sitting on, and it's wedged in there. And I'm just like slow-mo brass firing out of the side of this thing, just like mowing down these gnarly, bleedy, gross, pus-oozing hounds that are getting blown up with landmines and shit.
Yes.
There's no sound. It's just slow motion brass, and the casings are just piling up at my feet.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are just awash in brass by the end of this thing, and it's just freaking absolute catastrophe, as indeed you have solved my mutant hound puzzle. The waves of hounds are now down, and just corpses of them, probably 30 deep in front of the gates right now. Well done, Gunz. It is now comes to the massive bloated body of this super centaur, I'm going to call it now, which does itself take a move towards the town gates proper. And I want you guys to think of a behemoth sized centaur with this glowing FEV tank out of the middle of it. It is a horror show of Fallout nightmares, and it is moving closer and closer towards the gates. But it is not going to double move. It moves closer, and then it spits, as centaurs tend to do, and it is targeting. Let's go ahead and roll a dice here at the moment. I'll say, narratively as well. Do you guys have Towns Guard up here, shooting and stuff too? Paint me a townsfolk
so
picture.
Narratively, what we would have set up is there should be Towns Guard, Rads be damned. Fucking they're on the walls.
Okay, yep.
And there should be, I believe, 2 turrets up here as well of the machine gun variety.
Okay.
And
again, I don't want to burst any actually moments. I just want to know narratively if I'm throwing shit at you guys.
Because Doorman Gunz has one attached to his
I have
shield.
one. Someone else has one.
Sure.
Someone else has one,
Sure.
and
And
there
then
should be
pillbox.
2. Oh, and then so there's one on the tower or up on the walls.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just to get an idea, because it's gonna come into kind of, you guys are let me know what's out there so you can use it to your advantage, obviously. But yes, okay, perfect. So then in that case, then we'll say that seeing that just this human machine gun turret mow down all of its precious hounds, the Super Centaur is going to take an aim at our man Gunz here, and is going to, oops, the stupid Fantasy Grounds zooming thing is really annoying, and it's going to take a shot at with its spitting attack. As I said, it is looking for a target. It's not the best with this thing. Target number of 8. Ooh, it misses and goes wide. The spittle, it's like a wave. It's like basically like a puddle gets thrown out of this thing, of this green toxic sludge, as it lands to the left of you here, Gunz, and as it does, it starts to like melt through some of the like steel and shit. Like this is some nasty stuff, and it has just landed to you, and like you can feel the rads coming off of this goop that it is just chucked in your direction. But that's all that it does. It then comes to, unfortunately, the monstrosities which have landed behind the gate. These two floatery dudes who are also going to take a shot. Well, let's let it up to chance. Raj, why don't you bust out the D100 and give me a roll here? 1 to 50 will be you. 41 to other way around. 51 to 100 will be Gunz.
Oh, here we go.
Roll good numbers.
38.
Okay,
I think
so
that's me.
that's gonna be you. It takes it also spits, but but whereas the centaur had like a gooey stream, this is almost like a spore. It like shoots out like a barb that hits next to you, or attempts to hit next to you, and release like a nasty cloud of goop as it shoots, and it hits. And it hits, and it rolls for 4 points of poison damage, which it hits you with there, Mr. Bert. 4 points
Goddamn things
of damage to your bodice, and that is going to bring it now to the next group of floaters here. And I'll spread the love around, and these ones are going to take a shot at our man Gunz. They also give a goopy spore spit. Target number of 12. Ooh, 1 hit on that one. And it, again, spits out some sporing spittle. 2 damage. Does that... do you have poison resistance on top of your regular beefy resistance there, Gunz?
I think...
As a mutant,
like
I think...
for sure.
I think you may be in good
armor,
shape.
energy, and fizz resistance. Poison DR is nothing.
Okay. So then you will, in fact, take 2 points of poison damage, sir. As these things shoot their barbs, they don't hit you, but they hit the ground next to you, and they're almost like sacks, like those like puffballs things you'd find out in the woods. But they puff out these nasty bits of toxic goo, and that brings us to the end of the round. And because we have a rad storm on the go, a couple of things are going to happen. Bert, you're going to take 1 point of radiation damage, but Gunz, I believe you... Oh, actually, sorry, no, I guess it's just Yuri who gets healed by rads. You just don't get hurt by them. So you are feeling fine out in the radiation rain at the moment, but Yuri, wherever you are, if you had a boo-boo, you don't have it anymore. And that's the end of the first round here. The monstrosity is getting closer to the gates. It is the top of the second round, which brings us to Yuri Andropov. Where are you? What are you doing, if anything at all?
You still don't see Yuri.
Okay.
Hide nor hair of him.
Hide nor hair of Yuri still. Repairman Bert, it is then back to you as the first wave...
Can I, however, do like a prepared action, like sort of thing?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Like a conditional thing. I will got you.
Okay. Yeah.
When it happens.
Absolutely. I would love it if you did. Fantastic. Okay, great. Yes, I like that. Bert, it is back to your turn. The hounds in front of you have just been very handily dispatched thanks to some good shooting by yourself and Dorman Gunz. The rest of the town's guard on top of the gates here are firing as well into these packs of mutants that are getting ever closer. What do you do, sir?
Are these floaters correctly flanking us? Then they're behind.
They are. They have been chucked in. They have been pole vaulted essentially in behind the gates, and there are a number of them, probably about 5 or 6 of them floating around behind the gates behind you.
They did the giant ladders thing.
They did the giant ladders. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna shoot at the group of floater 1.
Okay.
Nearest to me.
Yes, indeed. And I should say as well, if you have any, if there's the machine gun turrets that you have up here as well, I'll say for the sake of, because we just don't have them, I'll just drop them in the order. How's about that? You said there were 2 of them?
One.
On the one on the gates. Okay, yeah. I will drop that in here onto the combat tracker, so you guys will be able to use it. In fact, it gets to go at the same time as you do, Bert. So if you want to use that, I will give you control of the turret on top of your own character. What would you like to do with both of those things?
I want to shoot the floaters.
I mean that tracks.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and target the floaters with the thingamajig. How do I do that? I guess I gotta put the machine gun turret on the map. Does that work? Yeah, there it is.
Should I go take my action in the meanwhile?
Yes, indeed. Well, there you go. Well, why don't you roll for the turret here? And you're looking for a target number of 12, sir. So roll me 2 d20s, looking for a 12.
All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Roll me 7 damage dice, sir.
Oh, my God.
That's a bunch.
That's a bunch of dice. Ooh.
6 damage.
Yep, that'll do. You unload this machine gun into the first group of floaters, and a couple of them, like, there's nothing to them. You see that, like, the second one of these bullets, like, you're pretty sure, even as they get, like, close to this thing, just like the impact and the the kinetic energy from around it makes these things like they pop. No word of a lie. They pop, and when they do, you can see now like there's like a cloud around them when they do. So the machine gun tore apart probably like 3 or 4 of them, and you get a feeling that it doesn't take a lot of damage to take these things out, but they're pretty. The machine gun has a bit of a tough time laying into them. And in fact, mechanically, you could say that it takes 2 successes to hit them, but they have the tiny keyword. So basically, you hit them, they die, but they're harder to hit. But most of these ones here are now dead in front of you as the machine gun does its thing. And there's only a couple of them left in that pack, as it is now your turn proper.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep shooting at them as Bert.
It sounds like a damn fine idea, Bert and Ernie.
Oh come on!
Close. So close, so
Wide miss.
close. Wide miss. Would you like to?
I would like to use luck points.
Oh, okay,
To
sure.
re-roll one of those dice.
Yes, you may do that. You're looking. Oh, target number is a 10. Ah, I see. Got the re-roll, baby.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good success.
That's more like it. Yes.
That's what we want to see.
That's what you want to see. Roll me some damage dice for your 44, Bert.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ooh, well done, sir. The vicious and piercing damage.
Let's do it.
This there was 3 hit points left on this group of floaters, and you've done 4 damage with a million piercing. Well done. As you let off a couple shots, boom, 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 and each one connects with the remaining floaters in this group, and they in fact go down. The last ones of them pop. But you can see now that this sort of area where they were, actually, in fact, I'm going to leave it there. Getting too close to where the sort of clouds are there may cause may be hazardous to your health.
your health.
But
For your
they
health.
are for your health. But they are. But that group is dead, which is going to move it on. Oh, or I guess I should say it is your minor action. Do you you are still out in the radiated rain? Do you want to do anything about that with your movement?
Is there anywhere that's still on this top of this wall that would like be under like an encroachment or something like that could take some cover? Possibly?
On top of the wall, no, but you could get like underneath like you're on a catwalk right now. You could move like underneath it. You wouldn't be able to see out from there, but you could, theoretically move back up on your next turn to do more stuff if you wanted to avoid the rads.
Yeah,
now.
maybe I'll do that. I'll shelter while I'm recovering for my next turn, kind of thing.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Bert moves. We'll say you just kind of tuck yourself underneath kind of the catwalk there to kind of get a quick reprieve from the irradiated rain and save yourself a bit of damage. As we move to Dorman Gunz for the turn.
Now, my action used up by super shooting the last round.
Correct.
So,
now you
I'm gonna try
can
to-
still buy major actions from me,
Yeah.
and by spending action points, of which you currently only have 1, so you'd have to go into the negative for me by 1 to do a major action this turn.
I'm gonna buy an action point to have a major action. I'm gonna swivel around, turret guns, and I'm gonna take aim at this floater that's behind us. I built this shield thing. Well, Burton built it, but I wanted this, so I'm not gonna get shot.
But I carry it.
But I carry it. I don't want to get shot in the butt by a little poison spitting jackwad here, so I'm gonna target floater 2.
I love it.
I'm gonna do a big guns roll.
Please do.
That is pretty. That's one success.
That's a hit. They as mentioned previously, they are difficulty 2 to hit. Do you want to spend that last juicy luck point?
I have 1 luck point, so I'm gonna spend it.
Okay. I mean, what else are you gonna do but to spend? It's a one shot. It's a one shot.
It's a one shot here. I'm gonna go -1 on the modifier here in Fantasy Grounds so that I can just roll big guns again as a single dice.
Indeed.
Oh, please, good number. Target 11. Nope.
Not so much. No,
No dice.
Not great.
This kind of works narratively though, because you're looking. You've got this big hulking sort of machine thing around you, and you sort of turn it around, and these things are small. They're maybe like as thin and narrow, almost as like my arm, maybe, and they're sort of wiggling around through the air, and and through the sort of slits of this, of this cage built as Bert for you. It's tough to, mowing down the dogs, no problem. They're big, they're beefy.
Down the dogs.
Mowing it down the dogs.
This is like shooting sea kelp.
This is like you're shooting at sea kelp that's currently wriggling. Like and you just, it's hard for you to nail down with these things. But that is your major action. Is there anything you want to do with minor action?
I'm gonna try to. I'll use my minor action. Can I just turn this thing back around so it's facing forward?
Yeah. I would say that would take that would take up your movement. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, and that's it for guns.
Okay. Very, very good. Then it is going to move on to the packs of super mutants, which are approaching the gate. They are going to double move. They run, seeing what happened to their hounds. I'm going to say that they take the bait. They do a double move and run towards the gate proper.
Actually.
Okay, here we go.
So, We have a turret in that gray box that's on the map there, and it's aiming back towards the rear of these super mutants.
So that's the rear-facing pillbox then.
That's the rear.
That is the rear-facing pillbox.
Ah, you got him with
Why
the old
not?
classic rear-facing pillbox.
You idiot!
I would like to point out that there's a
Can't
couple
believe he fell for it.
There's a
Hold
couple
his finger in the
moonshine
butt.
barrels.
I'm sorry, there's a couple.
There's a couple moonshine barrels that we have situated, basically right where these two super mutants are walking through in the funnel, as it were.
Yep. Okay.
And they're full of flammable moonshine.
Absolutely. I love that for me. I love that for us as a story. I love that for us as a storytelling team. Yeah, fantastic. It's weird if we set up the, hey, do these gotcha moments, and now I got to make you roll for it. I'm going to say that this happens. The initial jump shot of this goes off. They do not see this coming. The shots go off. Why don't? Why don't we do it twofold then? Roll me the damage for the machine gun turret, and then we'll do a Molotov cocktail, we'll say.
I'm sorry, what?
An Andropov cocktail, we'll say, to do a stand-in for the moonshine barrels. So give me a 7 damage dice roll, sir.
Here's the machine gun. Oh.
Ooh, it didn't do that good, but that's a whiff of a roll. That is going to be 2 damage to each of the mutants' packs, if you will. I mean, it's better damage than they had.
Damage is damage.
Damage is damage. Damage is damage. Let me just write that, keep that track of that on the combat tracker. One of these packs is looking a lot worse than the other. But yeah, they are still doing. And so why don't you now roll me? Let me just drop a Molotov cocktail into your inventory because I can't remember what it does. Sorry, an Andropov cocktail.
Thank you.
It is 4 damage dice. So roll me 4 damage dice there, sir.
2. That's 4 of them. Doodly doodly doo.
Doodly doodly doo. Hey, that's more like it. That makes up for it, and
Kablamo.
then some. Now, doesn't it? Okay, so that's 5, Oh, in fact, with the explosion going off, that's going to take one of them, give them the effect of dying, which is never bad.
Oh.
Which is never bad. The super mutant group 1, as we'll say that they were the closest to the barrels that got clipped. And yeah, I like this narratively even more. That the machine guns, didn't even fire at the mutants. They were aiming for the barrels, so that's why they didn't take as much damage. They just got hit with a couple strays. But when the explosion goes off, this group is like right on top of it, and they get like fucking liquefied when this shit goes off. And like picture like when it gets hit, like it's like a shock wave, and when the shock wave goes off, it's just like mutant goop everywhere that just gets taken, like Dr. Manhattan's these motherfuckers, just like gooped them good. Sanjay gooped them into oblivion, and they are gone. The other ones are not looking too great either, and that is the mutants. They double moved. I don't have the action points to throw shit at you right now, so that is the mutants' turn. It is then going to go to, excuse me, where was I? Oh yes, Dormant Gun's already gone. Oh, that's gonna bring it to the Centaur. Yes. Who takes again is going to this time will take a double move because I like getting close into combat. This thing is now getting stupid close. Again, following the. Oh,
actually.
Oh, okay.
Look to my coming on the 5th day.
This is both frustrating and amazing.
It's the Riders of Rohan.
It's not the Riders of Rohan. Actually, from off map.
Okay.
The Yuri Andropov with Enola May hooked up to her little red wagon, and in the back of the little red wagon is a machine gun turret.
Okay.
So Enola May is actually bolting to, I don't know, where do you think is fair?
Sorry, where is she coming from?
She's coming
Behind and off to the
was,
side.
She was behind the super mutants. We were hiding
Okay.
out beyond the wall,
Sure.
under some camouflage and whatnot. And now that you guys are close to the wall, we're coming in behind with a machine gun.
Okay, so
I'm
she's like coming down the road, like.
Sure. However you want her to come in, bud.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull out a Brahmin.
Thank you. In the back of the wagon, with the reins, chariot style, is Yuri Andropov, and he's going to do something himself as well.
Oh, this is so good. Okay, yep, 1 second.
Looks like coming to the east on the morning of the 5th day.
Okay, yeah, Yuri is on the... Yuri and Enola are on the map. For some reason, I have Enola as a hostile as well as the machine gun turret. Let me change that quickly. There you are, sir, at the back of the map. And I'll say because, we want this to come, we don't want this to be a 16-hour fight. You come in within shooting range of this thing. You are within optimal gotcha range of this shit. What do you want to do?
I want to buy from you one full major action. So I would like two major actions, please.
Yes. Okay. You would like to buy. So that will bring my action point pool up to 3. Ooh, that's spicy. I can do something with that. Yes, and you have now 2 major actions and a minor action.
So actually,
oh, Jesus Christ!
The centaur is standing on oil-soaked ground.
Okay.
We have soaked the perimeter of the field out front with petrocarbons.
Sure.
And
bitumen.
Bitumen stuff, black tar, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm whipping 2 Andropov cocktails in the general vicinity.
General vicinity. Yep.
Of the centaur creature.
Okay, I love that. Absolutely. Give me a I guess this is a thrown attack. We've barely ever done these.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do this.
Yeah, sure.
There is a throwing skill.
Yeah, the only other one we've done was when you threw this at a fucking behemoth.
Okay, I'm gonna throw 2.
Now you have the option to succeed at cost. If you really want this to happen, but it means I could throw and will throw something at you as far as a monkey wrench at some point.
It's a fair trade. I'm going to just go ahead and succeed at cost.
Okay.
This is part of the fucking plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you spend a little bit on this one because I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to roll still?
No, if it succeeds at cost, it's just, well, I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to do it as a difficulty 0 test if you want to generate some action points, but it means you could also generate another complication.
Rolling.
It's happening. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Not too shabby, not too shabby. Okay, so you kind of break even on that a little bit. You get an action point out of the deal, but there might be a little something coming your way in a minute. But you get the shot off. You get the throw. Done.
There are 2.
Oh, you throw 2. Okay, you throw 2. Then why don't you go ahead and roll me? Well, I guess are you aiming at the thing or you're aiming at the ground?
It doesn't matter.
I guess it doesn't matter. You know what? Here's what I'll say. The Molotov cocktails hit the target, and you light this up, and you use 2 cocktails. So that would be 8 damage dice. Why don't we say, because this is a good gotcha moment, and they don't have a stat item for bitumen-soaked ground, why don't we say roll? Fuck it. We'll say it's the equivalent of 4 Molotov cocktails. Roll me 16 damage dice.
Jesus.
Which is a lot. Or why don't I drop I'll drop. Do you have cocktails in your inventory?
I don't.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just do that. That'll be probably the easier thing. You can just hit
I don't.
roll the damage button multiple times. You do now. So there you go. Roll me 4 damage dice. 4 damage rolls of that shit.
Okay.
She should be equipped. Should be in your inventory now.
Equipped. Okay.
This is fun.
This is fun. This is good.
This gotcha shit
Okay.
is kind of it's entertaining.
We never just
We never just
this,
do
you guys.
this.
Okay, combat. Molotov cocktail. Okay.
Oh, baby! Yeah, this goes off. You throw. Fuck it. Tell me. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I think. Oh, Yuri has been chain smoking like a motherfucker. He's still got a hand rolled dart hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He lights the rags with his cigarette.
So
they
good.
go up. And he, you know what? He doesn't say anything. He just fucking cold ass whips them both overhand.
Yep.
From the back of this Toyota SR5 truck bed.
Yeah.
And lights up this monstrosity as the turret unloads on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is great. So, Super Centaur has just taken I need to look at the stats of the thing that I made. I created this monster, and I don't remember how it does. 11 damage. Okay, good. Okay, so you have done. It is a very beefy armored creature. But the flames and the fire and flames have done a chunk of damage. Fire and flames have done a chunk of damage to this thing. 8. Okay, there's 11, 8, and then persistent. Oh yeah, you've done a good job of this thing. But it's still looking in very good shape. But you do now have a machine gun, apparently, that you want to go. So now picture this, if you will, as this chariot of fire, because it's throwing Molotov cocktails, approaches the centaur and gets within shooting range. It is now in this field of fire, and as the flames rise up, it lets out this like shrieking noise out of like 1,000 different voices that echoes and like shakes the walls of the town. And now you are staring at this monstrosity, looking in front of you with this nasty ass glowing green shit pumping all through it. You want to shoot it?
Oh, I want to shoot.
You
I want to
shoot it.
Oh, what is that classic saying? I want to shoot you so bad my dick is hard.
Sure, I guess if that's
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So why don't you give? Oh, so I have the machine gun turret here, which you have the control of, or you should anyway. Roll me 2d20s, and you're looking for a 12 for a hit.
Okay, let's do it. 2d20. 1. Oh, that's not good.
That's not a good. That's not 12.
2.
That's not good.
Oh, that's even worse.
You only rolled
Wait.
1.
Oh, okay.
You got to roll
Wait,
another one.
Hold on. Why is this not rolling into the box? There we go.
There you go. Ooh, that is a miss.
Oh, okay. Wait. Actually, I accidentally put a modifier on the first roll. Do you see that? D20 plus 2?
I do.
I thought I was rolling 2. So the first one was actually a 12. Not a 16. I rolled a 14, but I accidentally added 2. Oh no, never mind.
No.
Never mind.
I think
No,
it's
they're both
14.
misses.
Close.
They're both misses.
Close.
They're 14.
They are both misses. Do you want to?
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna use some luck. I need this to happen.
I mean, you've got a
I
lot,
need
don't
it.
you? Or you got a couple?
I got some.
Okay.
Yeah, some.
You got some. Okay.
There's some.
And didn't you buy a major action or something too, right off the bat?
That was when I could whip both Molotov.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Nope. That's a fail.
You're not rolling.
Oh, that's a success.
There you go.
Hey.
Yes. You got the
Nice.
single dice. You got to roll in the box, otherwise it doesn't do the thing.
Yeah.
But it worked. You gotta fucking you got the
You got a
shot.
success.
Okay. So now roll me some damage on this thing. Is there anywhere in particular you're aiming, or you're just like shooting at the thing?
Oh no, we're aiming for that FEV tank.
Okay. Good man.
That
fire
big
away.
glowing weak spot. Yeah.
It's almost like you know how I build my encounters. Go ahead and roll damage.
How many damage dice do I get?
That is 7 damage dice.
1, 2. How do I pick up multiple dice again? Sorry.
When you're holding left click, tap right click as well.
Okay, so I get 7.
7 indeed.
Okay, here's 5.
Oh, big money, big money, big money. Oh wait, you're yeah, okay, yeah, keep going.
And then here's 2 more.
2, 4. But that is you didn't roll damage dice, you rolled the normal dice. But that's 2, 4, 5. 5 damage. 5 damage goes through. And you do, in fact, notice that whereas the fire, which generally just absorbed around this thing, you're shooting at this nasty tank of goo. It looks like you did significantly more damage to it by shooting there. In fact, one would say that you have identified what is in this game system called a weak point, where you have bypassed all armor on this thing and done another 5 damage to it, which does not make it look like it's having a good time. It is not bloodied, but it is
Having a good time.
having a good time. It is not looking so great after the flames and that direct shot. It is now going to go. I don't even, that all happened so crazily. That was the centaur's turn, and I'm going to say that it got it double moved anyway, but it is pretty baffled by what just happened to it, as it now goes.
I'm crazy. Ah!
Yeah, that shit was wild. As it now goes to the floater group, the last remaining floater group that's hanging out behind the gates, and it's going to make a move up to Dorman Gunz. They float silently and eerily. You see about 6 of these things float towards you and now get all around you as they are going to make an attack with their weird, whippy, tentacly tendrils as they go for it. And they hit you 1 time, and they lash and hit you for 4 damage of, again, that poison variety, and you see that, like, it just, when these things wrap their arms around you, it's like a jellyfish burn to like the nth degree. And even though you're an FEV creature, these things just try to like eat and tear into your nasty skin. Rip and tear. As yes, you now, Dorman Gunz, have another 4 points of damage on you. You now have a total of 9 of your 21 hit points have been hit. But that's the floaters, as we now get back up to the top of the order, which, interestingly enough, is back to, because of the way you gotcha'd me, Yuri Andropov.
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna unload with some good old fashioned Sherlock Holmes on this bastard.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I've got no more gotchas for it.
Okay. If you're aiming for said weak spot, it will increase the difficulty of your aimed shot. Make it a difficulty 2 rather than difficulty 1.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I want to do that.
Okay, and you will also have 2 machine gun turrets to throw at this. 2 successes. Well done. Roll me some damage dice with Sherlock Holmes, sir.
I also have a thing called Laser Commander. So when you make an attack with a ranged energy weapon, damage is increased 1d6 per rank. I have 2 ranks. Yes, I have 2 ranks in this.
You do. So you should get an extra 2 dice.
All right.
Roll that beautiful beam footage, baby.
+2 on the combat dice. I'm going to roll that.
Ooh.
That's 8 dice. And that's, looks like 8 damage, burst damage as well.
Yep, this goes off. You pummel Sherlock Holmes into this FEV nasty glowing tank, and yeah, you hit home. The extra damage does hit the spot. This thing is now looking bloodied, and then some. It is getting. It's still chomping along, but it is not looking as great. The container is starting to crack. And there's like fissures starting to snap in it, and some of the tubes have like popped off it, and now it's just splooging FEV nonsense everywhere. And you also deal some damage to the Super Mutants, pack number 2, and in fact, they are going to get completely fried by that.
Yeah.
So well done.
Turn into blue ash, you dumbasses.
On that. They all
Mister, we deal in energy.
fall apart. Yeah, exactly that. And that is Yuri's turn. You see...
That's my major action, and with my minor action, I'm going to see you in hell. Yeah! And Enola is going to take off back north to put distance between me and the Super Centaur.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, you head backwards, and that is perfect because as you do head back, Yuri, you see that there are, there is more than just, the creatures that are directly around you. There is another sort of wave and wall of creatures of all mutated types coming back around the mountain as she comes. In fact, it's almost like there are a never-ending wave of small, nasty, brutish things trying to
white lights
overwhelm you while one giant thing is trying to get its way close enough to kill you. And that is precisely what's happening as we now have more floaters, more super mutants, and as soon as I can open the NPC's thing, get more mutant hounds into the mix as well. And that is what you see now, another sort of wave cresting the hill of these mutants coming towards you. Combat Tracker tells me it is now up to Repairman Bert. And I will say that, Bert, you've got control of some machine gun turrets. Should you decide to use your major action to do that, there's one of them in the pillbox and one of them on top of the gates. It is
you also because he's the truest repairman.
Repairman.
I'm the truest repairman who will repair men.
Indeed.
He also has Enola's machine gun at his disposal.
Okay, sure. Yes, you have a plethora of machine guns that you could activate around you. Should you choose to use some major actions to do so?
I want to shoot everything at the centaur.
Okay. I like that.
I didn't ask how big the room was.
Yeah, I said I want to cast fireball. Okay, perfect. Yes, with your major action, you'll be able to fire major action. You'll be able to fire one of them. If you want to fire, well, I mean, you can deal with that when you come to it. But you'll be able to fire one per major action. So to get more than one off, you'll have to spend some action points. But if you want to take the first shot with one, why don't you roll me? We'll say it's the one on top of the gates here. You run up from your hidey hole during the rad storm with the sheets of radiation falling upon you. As you run up and grab a hold of this machine gun turret and aim it towards the centaur, rolled me 2 d20s, and you're looking for a 12 or lower.
Oh, man.
Oh! Swing and a miss. Do you want to spend any luck points and or action points to try to go again?
Luck point. Want to
reroll
reroll
for a reroll. Luck point. Luck be a lady tonight. Lots of luck points being spent in this battle here
12,
today.
exactly.
Okay, he gets a 12.
Do it.
Okay, all right. We are back in the money. Roll me 7 damage dice, sir.
Gladly.
Ooh.
8.
8.
Okay.
Yes, you pumped through. Now, but we're also now. I should say, because were you aiming at the guts of this thing, or just taking a general shot?
I was trying to go for its whatever glowy green thing at its soft nougaty center.
All right, well, I'll give you this then, because you need 2 successes to hit the dark nougaty center, so we'll need 1 more success. So I will let you do one of 2 things. You can either trade for me another complication, which you can stack up to have this succeed at cost, or you can bite the fail and try to buy another success with action points and roll again.
How many action points to roll again?
You'd have to pay me 1 action point to roll again, or auto hit and deal that 8 damage, but a complication could and will be coming your way.
No, I'm gonna give you 1 AP, and I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
A D20.
Here we go. So you get to roll both D20 on this, actually. In fact.
Oh, would you look at that? Here we go.
It's pretty bad. I'd say it's good odds.
Come on. Nope.
Not so much. We didn't get it on that one. No. Okay. You fire through again. It's the way the cookie crumbles. You take the shot and it doesn't quite hit home. You hit sort of around this thing and you can tell that it's doing damage, but nowhere near as measurable as what Yuri was able to deal with getting it directly head on. They call him Repairman Bert. They don't call him Machine Gun Bert. But
yeah, he's not Marksman Bert.
Yeah, sure. There you go. But hey, he's doing his thing. You get the shots off, but they don't quite hit home. It now comes down over to some mutanty things who are going to make their way closer to our friends Enola May and Yuri here. In fact, some of them are going to get some shots off. The groups of super mutants get some small arms fire coming your way here, Yuri. Let's see if they hit. They're not really that good at this, but they hit with one. They're going to get 2 shots, and because they are a group of things, only 1 hit, which is good news for 5 damage dice worth. Oh, okay, 3 damage coming your way. One of it is piercing.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take 4 damage.
Okay. There you go. Ouchie wouchie coming on your body there. But that is them. Now the floaters are going to get off a shot with their spore things here. Ooh, they also get a hit. I'm out of action points to spend at you, so I do not get a second shot. But their damage is 3 points of poison damage on you, Mr. Yuri.
I'll go ahead and take 3 more damage.
Yes, you will. Ooh, you're looking a little spicy there now, hey?
Yeah, oh yeah. The rad storm rages above us, though, right?
It does. So at the end of the round, you will gain a hit point.
Excellent.
Which is always tasty for a ghoul like yourself. That was the mutants and things. It is now over to Dorman Gunz to round out the turn. Oh, actually, because there's the floaters next to you. They'll go after you. Gunz.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Gunz?
I'm yelling out to townsfolk with the battle rifles that are behind the wall here to shoot at this annoying calamari. And I'm going to ignore them. They can bite me. They can do whatever they're going to do behind me.
Sure. I like
Annoying
that.
Calamari was my favorite Jimmy Buffett album.
I'm aiming for this glowing vat thing with my machine gun.
Okay.
And I'm going to succeed at cost.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna do
Norman
the thing.
Gunz
Hey,
he is committed. He is shooting this vat no matter what happens.
okay. I like it. I like it a lot. We are succeeding at cost. That is now, for those playing the home game, 2 complications that are stacked up against these guys, which I get to throw at them at any time. Why don't you go ahead and roll that damage dice then, because we've succeeded.
That's
7. Please be
this
tasty.
wasn't a big
Please be
mistake.
tasty.
Oh, 4 with burst.
4 with burst. 4 with burst, which is good. But
This was a mistake. I immediately regret my decision.
yeah, I mean that wasn't great. You could have just rolled dice. It was
I could've.
was an option too.
I could have, but I didn't.
You could have, should have, would have. But now that is there. Is there anything you want to do with your minor action?
Nope. I think that's about it.
Grant made a bunch of really good decisions while you were
I
gone.
succeeded at
Justin.
Sorry, we're running late, so I had to pee.
Yeah, no,
My
all
apologies.
good. All
I
good.
succeeded at cost. I rolled damage hitting the tank, and I got 4 damage on 7 combat dice. So lucky night.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. But I mean, 4 damage, and it is all 4 damage that went right through. Let's just put it this way: had you have rolled the dice and just tried to maybe shoot, you would have done no damage at all. So.
Sure.
So don't feel silly. You did a lot of damage
Okay.
in the context of this thing's many hit points. But
That
it
is for me.
it is looking significantly closer to its goop. It is goopier than it was before, let's say. But there are floaters
what we're
next
going
to you,
for.
Dormant Gunz, who are going to take some attacks. Yeah. Oops, I didn't. I rolled the wrong thing. I'm sorry. They need to try to hit you first.
Yeah, hit me first, buddy.
Which they do, and I'll just carry that over. So take 3 more damage.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's
There
exciting.
you
and
go.
fun.
How you looking there, Gunz?
Yeah.
He's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
tell me about your military discount.
It is.
It is. Yeah. So everybody's at about half health. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
You should drop me 12 times in a row is what you should do.
But I mean, anything's possible. It is now going to go to the top of the order in what could very well be the last turn, because one way or another, this monstrosity is about to be on top of the city gates. Yuri, what in the hell do you do, buddy?
Oh, we see it, like shambling towards the gates. There are bad guys behind us.
They're all around you.
I'm taking damage. It is a
You
free
heal 1 hit point.
I do. It is a free action to consume stuff, correct?
Sure.
Oh, is it not? I thought.
Yes, I believe it is. If you're looking to, like, if it's just like a thing you have on you, I think that's...
Well, hey, do you remember when all of that irradiated, like the food fell into the pools?
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
radiation?
Yeah.
Well, that duffel bag's still in the back of this Toyota Hilux.
Okay, sure. I believe it's a
So-
minor action to use to consume something, but yes.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
I will give you action points. I'm going to eat. You take a hot dog, put it in a pizza.
Yeah.
You got cheesy
Cheesy blasters, baby.
Fuck off.
I'm gonna eat some fucking cheesy blasters.
Yep. Okay.
That are super duper irradiated to regain some health.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
How many healths can I have?
How many
back, Bert?
healths can you have? Yeah, I'll say. Oh gosh, 4 hit points.
Okay, perfect.
How's that sound?
Well, I'm gonna need all that I can possibly get.
Sure.
And then.
And yes, it is a minor action to draw an item from your.
Okay, so I'm going to give you action points to take. I guess another minor action. Is that a thing that I can do? Or
Yeah.
do I have to
If you
spend-
want, like, are you trying to move or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna charge this centaur. We're
Okay.
charging the centaur, guns ablazing, with
Okay.
the machine gun and Sherlock Holmes and Enola May. We're charging the centaur, and we are attacking the FEV tank.
I love it. I am going to throw
A complication. Oh no!
Slightly, yes. This,
Sorry.
As you charge towards this thing, you're charging it from behind, right? You can still see, like, the FEV tank, like it's like hollow in the middle of it, basically. You can see it, and like from your thinking, you're charging it from behind, but this thing is a 360-degree monster, basically, and
It's a nightmare all over.
yeah, you think, oh yeah, it can't spit at me from the back, but it can. As a mouth from somewhere there should not be a mouth opens up, and this thing is going to take a hard
There
move.
shouldn't be a mouth there.
There shouldn't be a mouth there, and it's going to take a spit attack at you here. It's going to. Oh, why is that? That's not correct, but it's going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it's going to
Fuck
hit.
you.
Just.
I don't care. Give me all the damage. Give me all the damage.
Give me all the damage. Okay, and so it will, and it's going to take. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, that's so many damage though.
Ooh,
All right.
5
Okay.
points coming your way, sir.
Yep. Yep. Is it physical?
It is of the poison variety, in fact.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I'm taking all. Well, no.
Oh,
I
nope.
only have 7.
Nope, that's not right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. All right. Okay. I ate a cheesy blaster. I'm fine.
You ate a cheesy blaster. You're doing good. It's kind of like you only took 1 point of damage. I mean, it's not great. You can't take a lot of those, but it is now back to your turn, sir.
Oh yeah. We're shooting. We're shooting.
We're shooting. Okay, do the thing. If you want, whichever one you want to shoot first. If you're
Sherlock Holmes is going to shoot first.
Okay.
I'm shooting for the tank. It's an aim shot. That's 2 difficulty. Let's see what happens. That's a crit success. That's a 1. Kablam, blam, blam, blam.
Oh my goodness. Well done, sir. Roll me the damage dice with your laser commander perk.
Yes. Okay. Okay, that wasn't great.
The damage whiffs.
Whoa.
You can spend a luck point to roll re-roll 2 of those damage dice. These luck whiffs are insane.
I'm going to be rolling because I get an extra 2 because of laser commander.
Okay, yep. It's better. It's another 2 tacked on, so it's a total of 4.
All right. Well, I mean, sure.
I mean, and you are about to fire a machine gun turret, I believe, as well.
Exactly,
so that's pretty good.
We're charging.
Oh man, the chip damage on this is just insane. So that was another 4. Okay, so I'm doing math. Okay, this thing is not looking great. I would really like it if you did a bunch of damage to this thing now. Take a shot with the machine gun turret. 2 D20s. Your target number is 12.
Oops.
Folks at home, I really want them to kill this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's gonna be 2 successes. Okay, so why don't you roll me now that 7 damage dice and do a good job. Do a real good job.
Do a good job.
No more of these 2 damage on 8 dice, gentlemen.
All right. That's 5.
That's better. That's better. Could I interest you in spending a luck point to re-roll 2 of those?
You could, in fact. I'm going to do it.
Please do.
I need this thing to die. I'm out of luck.
It would be
Yuri
really
has no
spicy.
more. Yuri grasps the crucifix that is around his neck and says, "Lord, please, we need this." And that's a 1 and a 4.
That's a 1 and a 4. That's you gotta roll the damage dice. I don't remember what 4 is. It's 4. I think is nothing.
4 is nothing. 1 is 1.
4 is nothing. 1 is 1.
Okay,
You do
well.
1 point of damage. Okay, this thing is hanging on by a thread with the flames.
Enola is charging it. Enola is charging it.
Enola is charging it.
Horns out.
melee charge?
Double horn, double head, horns out.
Okay, I love it. This is gonna be a melee attack.
Yeah.
This is bizarre. Let me look at what the Brahmin has a headbutt attack.
We have done this before.
We've done this before. It has a target number of 7. So yeah, she's on the board. She gets to go. It's in the order. It's her then Bert. So why don't you give me?
All right, that's nothing. That was nothing.
Nothing there. I mean, it was.
I have no more luck.
You've got no more luck. That was it. Okay, she runs. Okay, but you are now. You are now
way up on it.
You are now way up on it. And yeah, I'm going to make things a little bit difficult on you here now, too, because we're going to take a complication from Mr. Gunz, and we're going to throw it in on you here now. There is fire all around you because everything is on fire. This creature is taking a persistent damage, but now so are you. You are stuck inside here, and it's going to take you more movement than you've got available on your next turn to probably get out without taking damage. You are in here. This thing's taking damage. It is like on fire and spewing guts everywhere. Can somebody be a fucking hero, Repairman Bert? It is your turn.
You're the truest repairman.
Major action. Gun turret. 2 D20s. Gonna buy a third D20 with
Do
an
it,
AP.
baby. Do it,
Rolling
baby.
3 D20s. Target number is 12. Okay.
3 D20s, hit me with your best shot.
Fire away.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. That'll do it.
All goddamn day long. Roll me 7 damage dice, please.
7 dice. Today.
Yes, please.
Come on.
That's 5.
Yes. Bert, you see Yuri charge into this thing, and Enola May bounces off it like nothing, like she's hitting a goddamn wall. For a moment, things looked like it was done. It was over. The mutants in front of you are just a pile of corpses. Yuri on the death charge. It's something you've heard about. You think it's gonna go off without a hitch, but she stumbles and the trailer gets tied up, and all of a sudden she's right. Enola and Yuri are now in front of this thing with flames riding, and it's all gone wrong. At the last,
it's all gone Pete Tong.
It's all gone Pete Tong.
God.
You are able to, you know what, we'll say in pure Repairman style, you figure out that the reason you missed before is that there was something off with the sights, and you give it a, just like you did at the beginning of the campaign, fixing your pistol, fixing up that firing spring. You give that little thing a tweak, and you fire it up, and you unload, and tell me how you kill my Super Centaur.
It's just like from like the recoil of the gun, right? It's like does one of these, just kind of rips through the.
It like has like a mind of its own, yeah.
Yeah, like, just like saw it open, guts everywhere.
Ooh, that's excellent. Yeah, Bert, you're trying to get a hold of the recoil on this thing, and it just like. It just starts taking you for a ride, and luckily you're able to just hold enough shots as it's trailing up, and it just sort of like this trail up of bullet holes through the glass of this tank, just and as it gets all the way through, and yeah, you cut open into this thing, and it tears up in half, and the glass breaks, and the sludge spills out into its guts and its crevasses all over the wasteland as you have solved my Super Centaur puzzle.
We did it! Whew! We survived, sort of.
You done did it as the monstrosity falls upon you. And indeed, this wave of nastiness rushes through, and like Yuri, it douses the flames and the fires, and narratively, because I haven't thought well enough ahead about what would happen to Yuri if he got covered in a wave of FEV. We'll just say you're able to, chariots of fire, much like the Egyptians getting away from the. I know they
Where are you going with
no,
this,
wait, they got.
I picture Yuri riding away on the chariot, and there's explosions behind him.
This is what I'm trying.
Cool to look back at the.
This is what I'm trying to get at. It's like the parting of the Red Seas, but with FEV, and like you're running through it, and like
of the
FEVs. Thank you. This is where I was trying to get. Thank you for sticking with me as we got there. But yes, it's exactly that. This monstrous tower of a creature is falling down upon you as the guts of it are spilling out onto the streets. And with this abomination and just a bloated husk now at this stage, the mutant horde begins to fall into disarray. Those that don't head for the hills, and who do stick around for the remainder of the battle, if you want to call it now at this stage, is not much more of that. It's more of a killing field at this stage, and the townsfolk and MacArthur's guards seem to revel a bit in pushing the mutants back from the town where all other towns seem to have failed.
Yeah.
But without their leader and their engine of destruction that was this Super Centaur creature, the stragglers are all put down. And the day that follows is one of celebration as word spreads across the waste. Yuri, I imagine you get on the radio and start spreading the word out there that there's been a situation in Longmount, and word starts to spread farther and wider. And while the mutant threat may be over, the scars of what comes to be known as the locust swarm that is left on the Colorado territories will be felt for some years to come. In the aftermath of this battle, it takes a while for communication and lines to be fully set up again, for the folks in the Altona to fully head home, and you haven't really heard much about Boulder City, and you may want to start sending some folks there that way to see what in the heck's all happened, and sending out further out into the wastes. The folks in Longmount start to go and check on the others, and word starts to spread far and wide of what happened at the siege of Longmount. But that's a story for another time, of what happens in our little town of Colorado. Because we'll be back soon enough, but before we take our exit into another campaign, if you will, there's a night a few weeks down the road, which, similar to how we opened the campaign, is Bert in his shop. He's working and sitting and fiddling with some old bits of machinery. Not like the days that were happening during the Locust Swarm where you were, tinkering with weapons and things. You're doing something for fun now. You're working on, a pet project of yours, and you hear a knock on the door. You see MacArthur come into your shop late at night. Mr. Ernie, I was wondering if I could bother you for a moment.
What can I do you for there, sir?
Well, I was having a chat with Mr. Yuri about this. There's something he thinks that maybe you might be able to help my crew with. There's while the rest of the gang's out celebrating, I thought maybe we could have a word. There's something that one of my men found that we can't quite make head or tails of. He pulls out from behind his back a small piece of machinery. It's red with like some hazard striping on it, and it looks pre-war to you. Not something you've ever quite encountered before. This, whatever this was, or whatever that thing was, this was inside of it. We've been scrapping what we could from the leftovers of, the mutants left a lot of goods out there, and some of my guys, they were going through what was left of the mechanical bits and pieces of that monstrosity, and they found this thing at the heart of it. It's above any of our pay grades. We figure you're the only one around here that might be able to make any sense of it, but if you want to take a look at this and let me know what you find, could maybe answer a lot of questions we have.
Well, hell yeah. I'll take a good look at this thing, let you know what's what.
This becomes your new sort of pet project over the next couple of days. The old internal combustion engine you've been working on as a pet project starts to gather dust as you start to dig into MacArthur's mystery. And why don't we go ahead and do a little old repair roll there? It's going to be a difficulty 0 roll as we fade out slowly as Bert is working on a workbench on this odd piece of machinery that he's got plugged in. Give me a difficulty 0 test, sir.
3 successes.
3 successes, one of them being a critical. Good thing you did not complicate on this one. You get to work on this machine, and like I say, it's not something you do all at once. It's slowly and surely over a few weeks. But as you do get it put together, it comes to you slowly, but it has elements of all kinds of things to it. It's an old school computer, but it's got some tracking location information on it, and it takes a while for you to figure it out, but finally you get this thing hooked up to an old terminal, and you realize that it's essentially a locator. If not, this box is black, almost, if you will, for lack of a better term. And as some diagnostic information starts to come up on the screen with a critical success and an extra one on top of that, I'll give you 3 pieces of information for 3 successes. It's very garbled, but at the very top of this black box, if you will, you get a reading that says, Recon Team Gamma. Target priority critical. And then a bunch of geolocation data that you can't make sense of. And then at the very, very bottom, you just see 2 lines of code that don't really mean anything to you, but they read the words Ad Victoriam.
Dun, dun, dun!
As the camera pans out of Bert's workshop and out of Longmount, as we see the townsfolk hammering shit, and we see Yuri smoking a cigarette. Or maybe he's not smoking a cigarette. Maybe he's putting those aside. Or maybe this is the last one in a while as he stands and looks out over the gates of Longmount. And we see Doorman Gunz, who is being patted on the back by all kinds of folks here now. And there's little kids running up to him. And that feeling that maybe he wasn't quite welcome in town seems to be gone now as the camera continues to pan out back to the Altona Hotel as we see the family putting the beams back together, and we see people coming back in to stay the night. And we pan further out down to Boulder City where, we don't quite know what's going on in Boulder City because we didn't touch that in this one shot, but maybe we'll find out in season 3 as the camera pans back further and further and further down the road past a familiar cut line where we opened our scene, and back further west as the rolling foothills start to give further east as the rolling foothills start to give away to flat prairies, and we see one rad storm give away to another as we make our way back into the Kansas territories. And the camera pans over a strange and twisted looking church built out of a hole in the ground with an eerie, ominous light coming from inside. And from the amber waves of razor grain flowing with the thunder and the lightning and the green radnados pulsing around the Kansas countryside, we see in one of those thunder claps a quick shot of lightning as we see through the blades of grass a pair of goggled eyes looking through a rifle scope down at the Atomica Basilica. And we hear a muffled voice through a respirator say,
Oh my God! So that's me. So
yeah. So I'm teeing up Grant for the final line.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
yeah.
that will
I was
tie us
super
back.
ready for this.
I didn't tell him that this was going to happen. And we, as we go back and we hear a muffled voice say,
"Oh, I'm gonna spend so much ammo on you fuckers."
And that is the end of Home on the Rage, a Fistful of Neutrons story. Thank you all for sticking in with this extra long. I hope it was super fun. Weird ass one shot with some weird mutants and just a chance for me to create a really fucking weird monster to throw at you guys. I had a blast with this. I hope you 3 did, and I hope you all did at home too. And I hope it ties in a little bit of what we got going on next up for season 3, which is going to be a whole, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but we're going to find out because we're going to make it up as we get there together. I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to be back on this next upcoming Sunday, which is
we're going back to Kansas. Everything's going to be cool. There's no twists and turns, and everything's going to be great.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to live happily ever after, and there's going to be no horrific things.
I'm sure everything's going to be perfectly fine, and I'm really excited to see how Rifleman's going to spend some of that ammo and hopefully save both mine and Johnny's ass, because yeah, somebody's gonna have to. But thank you all so much for watching. This was really fun. I had a great time jumping back in the overseer's chair for a bit. I'm really excited though to get back into Mr. Microwave and see what we can't do. Thank you to James Monson for winning our giveaway here. I'm very excited for you to get your hands on this book. I had a ton of fun using this as the inspiration for some of the fun mechanics that we used in this one-shot. I hope you also get as much from it as well. And if you haven't picked up this book, please do the solid. Go check out our friends at Modifius. Pick it up. You can get the PDF version, I believe, by itself now. So you don't have to buy the full hardcover if you don't want. But it's really great. I love having these hardcover books to flip through. Makes it a lot easier than having the PDF when you're running the game, either virtually or for your friends around the table. So thank you all so much again. We're gonna come back, like I said, next Sunday. We were thinking about doing like another Q&A session in between this and the next one, but we're gonna wait until the end of the season. So if you have any thoughts about how this played out, what you might like to see in season 3, what in the hell was going on with a weird nebulous swarm of super mutants that we never found out any backstory about, which is exactly how I wanted it to be. That will be the chance for you to ask those questions there. And of course, of Justin as well for all of the fun stuff that he's been throwing in to his campaign, because I have questions myself and I'm inside the goddamn thing. But there you go. From myself, we've prattled on long enough for 3-some hours now. We'll let you all get back to your Sundays. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks, everyone. We
Stay
love you.
tuned.
Come on back next week.
WGNR will be back. Bye-bye.